Nobody to talk to. Everybody's nobody. Ding dong. So nobody to talk to.
A while ago, but it kicked me out, I guess.
I'm messing with you. Man.
So I came back on again, and it was weird. Anyway.
What? We barely can hear you.
Oh, is it my?
Yeah,
I
there you
have
go.
to do with my mic.
Yeah, now I can see your full face too. Usually I can just see your head. You see that you changed
My
it.
and
Yeah.
and there's nothing to it. There you go. But
No, but then this way you can see your expression. You can see what's going on.
that's true.
The other way, I don't see anything. Like, yeah, whatever. No emotion. I can hear you better right now.
But I have a fan. Is it bugging or not? I have a fan.
No, I have a fan too.
Okay, good.
You can't hear that.
Good. But sometimes it's, I don't know. Anyway,
I have a fan too at the back of you. That's making a noise, whoever it is. I'm messing with you. Come on, corny. If I can't joke with it, then I can't joke with the people out in the field.
oh, Randy and I were fine with you. We have no issue with you.
Oh.
I don't know if you noticed. Last week I started inviting Kelly, so he was on last week too.
Who?
Kelly.
Who's Kelly?
Kelly Conley. We met at the PWR anyway. Yeah. So we've been working together. I mean, talking together. Yeah.
Yeah. What happened?
Huh?
He didn't join.
He did last week. But then when we got cut off, he had to leave.
Oh.
Yeah.
Kelly, I thought it was Alton. I didn't see Kelly.
Kelly, he didn't have his picture. I kept saying, turn on your video, but I guess not. He was there.
No, I didn't.
Alton was there, yeah.
Alton was there, but I didn't see Kelly's stuff on my screen.
It was there. It was just blank and his name there.
No, even blank. In my case, I didn't see that.
Not at all? Oh, that's why I was surprised you didn't mention him.
That's what I'm saying. I didn't see him.
Interesting. Anyway.
That's what I'm trying to get at. I didn't see his info. So.
Oh, wow.
So what's your difficulty?
You know already which one. I have to push. So actually, we're trying. I know you're gonna tell me something, but we're actually meeting with a title guy. He actually is using Remind too. I just want to see what he can help more. I did get on the Remind Pro for 2 months. I have to remove it because it's too much for me.
That's what you can go for 1 month. You should have done 2 months, but that's fine. 2 months is 2 months, right?
Yeah, they gave me a very good deal.
Okay.
Until next time. It's like 2 months for the price of one. Stop.
Yeah, that's right. And the problem with us is Chicago is getting the full version included. Chicago
title, yeah.
No. The state of Chicago.
Okay.
They are getting the full version. Their MLS is giving them the full pro version. You in California, you guys are not doing a stinker. If you did a stinker, you could get the full version through.
If we're what?
If you screamed at them, then you would get the full version of it.
Oh, how you tell me how to scream at them?
You have to complain to the CRMLS.
Oh, CRMLS, like why can they get pro when we only get the basic?
Yep.
Okay. So I'll rally some friends and say start telling the MLS.
Yeah.
MLS or CAR?
Same MLS, CRMLS, same thing.
Where do we complain? Don't we just go to CAR?
No, you do it down here. You see there's a telephone number at the bottom of this.
Okay, and call them, say, what, that kukuru? Okay.
Yeah. You call them up, or you can send them support and say, hey, we are complaining because you guys don't provide us with decent support.
You guys are cheapo. I'm just kidding. Yeah, okay, wow, state of Chicago, huh?
Yeah.
I actually had a referral transaction last year from all the way from Chicago. Yeah.
And
And they're very, I don't know, the houses there are really cheaper. So,
yeah. So what do you want to know about Remind?
um, so we're trying to focus on what to focus. I don't know. We want to see what we can focus on. Oh well, anyway, anything to do with Proposition 60, 90. So more on
Yeah, but what's your main goal is to reach these people? How do you reach them?
that's what we're trying to figure out now. Again, is we know we need to reach out through door knocking, which we know that. Now we just want to focus on what market now, right? And so we're trying to focus on people who are older now.
Door knocking, then this is a better solution. I'm going to give it to you right now. Easy. So
Or anything.
go to your area wherever you want. Actually, I was showing somebody in Whittier. So this is Whittier area. And that area, there's a lot of 20 years and above. So attack 20 years and above. So all you need to do is click on the ones, or go to the people that are green.
Dark green, right? Yeah.
Dark green, no, 20 years, yeah. So 20 years and above, and start getting that list. So if you have a list that you can start creating, all you need to do is get a list set up and build a list. Excellent. But this place is notorious for having stupid streets.
Okay. Oh, for this one, right? Okay.
Whittier has stupid streets, which means they're not crisscrossing like Onion Beach. It's north to south type of thing. You see how it turns, angled, and that's the problem with.
Okay.
So you get the 20 people with the 20. That means that they've been there for too long. Time for them to move. So you need to create a flyer that says, you've been here for long, but it's not telling them you've been here for long. You're telling them, hey guys, are you interested in moving? And I think you've got value, equity built up on your home. Let's use that to help you retire. So that's the angle you can apply. And once you get that angle applied, put it on a single sheet and door knock these people and say, look, I want to help you guys retire, but the way to do that is by selling your home. And you notice, look at, I'll put a stuff on it. So now you can see all the people with the stars.
Yes.
So you tell them, hey, you are all been here for so long. Don't you think it's time for you to move? Oh, I'm going to die here. All right, here's a casket. Have a fun day.
Come on, Arvind, we're not going to say that.
I know you're not going to say that. And you're going to be nice about it. So what you want to apply is tell them straight out, let me help you successfully move to another home, but we'll show you how to take the equity of your home and apply it to the new property as well. But at the same time, capital gains will be zeroed out because you've been in the house for more than 2 years. That's as simple as it gets. And you can talk while the door has been knocked.
And let me get back. You said capital gains could be very low or zero, did you say?
Yeah. Zero.
Zero, right? Because of Proposition 6090?
What proposition are you talking about?
Oh, why is capital gain zero? Because you said.
When you did your principles classes, it showed you that if you stayed in a property for 2 years and a little longer, then if you sold your property for a gain, whatever profit you made, that profit is not taxed. Somebody in the background is talking, cutting you off.
Oh, my son. Andrew, close the door, please.
So what happens is, if you bought a house for 500 and you sold it for $1 million, that 500,000, if you're married, is zero tax. It's not taxable capital gains. Capital gains is a different tax issue. So capital gains then does not get taxed if you're married. If you're single and you made $500,000, then you're going to be charged on $500,000 worth of tax.
Gotcha. Yeah, I got that.
So that's what this whole thing is about. A lot of these people don't know about it.
So basically, you're saying because I'm sorry, they bought this years ago and it was lower in price. Chances are, if they're still married, right? If they're married, they can go up to 500,000.
Don't overthink it. You need to shortcut all these things. You're overthinking these things, and this is where you're running into your problem.
Okay.
So don't overthink it. Well, they've been staying there. You know what? You've been there for 2 years? Yeah, good. It's good for you to get capital gains taxes if you sell your house. Let's help you out.
Mm-hmm.
It's shortcut.
Okay.
If you keep overthinking, well, how does this mechanics work? This mechanic never gets together because there's so much information, you get lost. And this is what I've been noticing as I've been teaching in different classes.
Mm-hmm.
People come up with these different questions, and then I said, why are you asking this type of a question? They feel offended, but it's not an offense. My question to you back is trying to understand the mentality of why you're coming up with this type of a question. That's what I'm trying. So there's a lack of information that you haven't put together, but I understand that. But the question is, the seller doesn't need to know that. As far as the seller is concerned, keep it short.
So yeah, so basically, if they don't ask me, then I don't have to worry about it until.
No, it's not the asking. The question is, if you keep it short, have you been in the house for 2 years? Yes.
Mm-hmm.
You know what? After 2 years, when you sell your home, all the money that you make, in simple terms, all the money you make, which is called capital gains,
mm-hmm.
is basically not taxed. It's zero. And that's the rule with the IRS. IRS requires you to stay in your personal home for 2 years. If you have an absentee ownership or if you have an investment property, then it applies differently. That's something else. You have to do a 1031 exchange there. Mm-hmm. Otherwise, you're going to get busted with 40% and various other taxes. They're going to eat you up. So in order to avoid this, one of the ways to do it is move every 2 years. And you have a repeat customer every 2 years. That is the key behind all this system. I've retired people that way by at least telling them, look, do you want to retire in 10 years or 20 years with 1.3 million or $3 million? I'm giving them two different options. I said, well, what about $3 million? All right, with $3 million in 20 years, you need to move 10 times. If you move 10 times, your whole game plan is every 2 years, I want you to move. But fix your house up, clean it up, make it immaculate, and boom, move. Problem is one party in the household is going to say no because they are basically stuck in the property and they don't want to move because it's too much of an issue to move. Then they'll say, well, I don't want my kid to go out of the school. I love the school area. Move around the block. What the hell you care? So what's this? There's my wood dock. Oh, what's his problem? It's your son's problem. So, if you bought a house, I'm trying to figure out if I still have it. All right, let's just start with 500,000. You bought a house for 500,000, and with that 500,000, after 2 years, you sold it, and you sold it at 650. So how much of a profit did you make? Sorry?
150.
Okay, you made 150, right?
Mm-hmm.
So if you made 150, right, yeah. If you made 150, look at the calculation the way it is done. So take the 500, you put some money down, 20% down or whatever, usually. So if you put 20% down when you bought the property, how much did you put down on a 500,000?
100.
About 100, right?
Yes.
And even if you put 3%, it doesn't matter how much you put down. The whole idea is you put something down. So 20% down. In 2 years, you made $150,000. Yeah. So look at the percentage of how much you made in 2 years. I'm just giving you a scenario. Even if you made $50,000, in 2 years, your $100,000 made $50,000. You made 50%. Where do you make 50% interest on any market? You don't. So even if I'm going to take this, watch this. Let's just do 50%, 50,000, right? So look carefully what I'm going to show you. You put $100,000 and in 2 years you make $50,000. Nowhere in America that can you make that much of money except in the house when you sell it. Now, on a 500,000, this was on a 500,000, your loan amount was 400,000, right? Because you put 100,000 down, right? Making sense? So, on a $400,000, you are paying, and I can guarantee you, I already know the numbers. You're paying $2,000 in principal and interest. That's your payments. Don't tell me about taxes and all that. This is where people make things complicated. I didn't care about taxes. Taxes is, you can pay your taxes after the end of the year. You can pay them before, every month. People are cheap. They want to budget everything into the monthly payment of taxes. Don't do that. The IRS or the city keeps your money when you pay them monthly, and they putting it away in the bank, and they're making interest on you. It's smart.
Like a municipal bond and stuff.
They're making money on you, so give them at the end of the year. Don't give them every month.
Yeah.
If you give them every month, the bank doesn't give it back to the city. They pay it once a year.
Well, we do half a year. Yeah.
Half a year, yearly, doesn't matter. But what I'm trying to tell you is when you have it amortized into your mortgage, they say, well, my mortgage is with including tax and everything, blah, 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 blah. So they pay $200 extra into the mortgage and send it to the bank. Bank is the one that's making interest on your income because they separate it. They've taken the principal and interest and then taken the tax and put it into a tax account. That tax account is making money for them. You're just an idiot in that sense. I'm not telling you, I'm telling the seller. Sellers are idiots, so they don't get it. But I forget about it. Why don't you take the 200, put it in your savings account and leave it there, and at the end of the year, take that money and then send it out to the taxman. You've made some interest. People don't get this part. So if your monthly was 200, you did $50,000 profit. Take this 50,000, and now you also got your 100,000 back. Remember that when you sell your house, you get that back. So now you got what? $150,000, right? So with $150,000, you got a big amount of property to buy, and now you can buy anything above $650 to $700. Okay. So with that said, your next purchase, 150, so let's do 700. Okay, actually, put it this side. Mistake. You buy $700,000 home. How much is your down payment?
140.
150, right?
140.
What do you mean 140?
Oh, you said 20% of 700, isn't it? Usually, the down payment?
Yeah, so...
Or you want to use up the whole 150 that you got?
Use up the whole 100.
Okay.
You don't let them take anything out. You use the 150 down payment. Okay?
Okay, I remember it's 10. Yeah, okay, gotcha.
It makes it easier if you do 150 down. So what is the remaining amount? What's the loan amount you're going to pick up?
550.
550, right?
Mm-hmm.
So what's this? 550. I'll give you a scenario of how to calculate the monthly payment on 550. So if you take 550, 10% of 550 is what? 5,500. Think carefully what I said.
Yes.
Right. Calculate, use a calculator and tell me what's 10% of that?
5,500.
5,500, right?
Yes, yes.
Okay. So take 5,500 divided by 2.
2750.
That's all right. The kid's telling me what he did.
Hmm.
So, how much is that? Sorry?
2750.
So look at the monthly, 2750, right?
Uh-huh.
That's your monthly. He was paying initially how much?
2,000.
Right. He's just gone up by 750 only, right?
Yeah, I see it.
But this is P&I. I'm trying to see in the dark. So this is P&I,
Mm-hmm.
principal and interest.
Mm-hmm.
So remember I was telling you about the tax issue, that why do you give the bank tax every month?
Mm-hmm.
So when you work with loans, you're getting an interest from the bank, right?
Mm-hmm.
So I'm going to erase this. I'm just going to make sure that you'll understand what I'm doing. You're putting 20% down and the bank is giving 80%.
Correct.
Okay. On the 80%, the bank is charging you interest. But it's also telling you to pay the principal as well.
Mm-hmm.
When you pay the principal, do they give you interest on the principal?
Do they give you the interest? What do you mean? Oh, do they give you back an interest of paying? No, because they're supposed to.
Isn't the principal yours as an equity after a while? Isn't that why you're paying into the property?
Yeah.
The principal, the meaning of principal,
Is the amount itself.
this is broken into principal and interest. Interest is a little high,
Yes.
and the principal. So what is the principal interest on this one? 2,700.
I don't know, I'm just guessing it. Wait,
In the first 2 years.
I don't know. That much?
Oh yeah.
Per year? In 2 years?
In the first 5 years, that's your principal interest going. Bank want the money up first. They don't want the principal. They don't want interest. You ever notice amortization? You look at amortization, your payment initially to your principal is nothing.
Yes.
Interest is always high.
Yep.
Then it gets lopsided the other way around, and then it changes when close to where you get to 30 years.
Yes.
Right? So this is how it works. You're paying $2,500 towards interest, and the other $200 you're paying towards principal.
Oh, yes. Sounds familiar, yeah.
Check into it, you'll understand it. So,
Yes.
to give you an understanding, you tell your sellers, number one, don't pay principal. You're going to be there only for 2 years. Why pay principal? So what are you talking about? All right. Interest only. Interest only is the same formula as
ARM?
as a lease.
Oh, okay.
It's the same initial thing.
Mm-hmm.
So you can get an interest only loan for 3 years ARM, 5-year ARM, 7-year ARM, and 10-year ARM.
That's why ARM. Uh-huh.
Right. So what happens is for the first 3 years of the loan, you pay interest only, or you pay for 5 years only, 7 years only, 10 years, and then it's either a balloon or you go refi, or you come up with the appropriate interest at that time If the interest is 5%, then you get locked in for the next 25 or 30 years or whatever remaining. You got to remember, 3 years is 27 years left. 5 years is 25 years left. 7 years, 23 and 20 years. So the rest of the another 20 years, your payment goes up. It changes, but at the same time, it locks in at the new interest that is available at that time. I don't know when or what time it is going to be, but 10 years from today, your interest could be whatever, and they're going to lock you in. And that's what you need to pay. In 2008, this is what happened to all these idiots. They had these type of systems. The nosedive. You don't tell the client that, but I'm just giving you, they couldn't afford to pay because they squeezed everybody at a low interest only payments. So people could buy, they bought a lot of these houses. Oh boy, I got a house, I got a house. Then the 3 years came in, 5 years came in. My interest is going, my interest in payment, my interest and principal is going to go up. So I'm going to now end up paying $2,700 instead of $2,000. So interest alone normally is calculated, and it will be about $2,100 on that same payment that we were talking about, at $2,700. Yeah, with principal and interest. If it's only principal, then it will only interest, then it will be at $2,100. And that's how these loans are calculated. What do you care if you stayed in the house? The client is going, well, I don't want to get stuck with a 3 year or a 5 year or a 7 year or a 10 year. Yeah, but you're going to be there. You're only going to be there for 2 years. After 2 years, we sell it. Your whole loan is going to get paid off. You won't have that loan. What are you saying? After 3 years of leasing your car, you give the car back. Do you have a lease again? You can get a new lease, but I'm not asking you. Do you have you give your car back, you don't have a lease anymore. Right? You don't have to pay the other half of the car. You tell the bank and you tell the car dealership, have your car. Stick it up your nose. I don't care. Right? So the whole idea is the same thing. You tell the bank, hey, find me a buyer. Or you find an agent, they say, hey, find me a buyer. Sell the house. And the profit that I make, the $50,000 a year, I want that in my pocket. I got rid of the house. I got rid of the mortgage. Because when you sell the house, your mortgage gets paid.
Correct. Yes.
That's why they call it, how do they call it? They call the, what is the payment, payoff? Right? So they want to know what the payoff is. After 2 years, it's a minuscule amount. So let me see here something.
I've heard some people who do that, right? I heard that. Some investors, they buy and live for 2 years and fix it up, and then they sell and they go buy.
Get investors do it a different way. That's another topic altogether. I'll tell you that. This is how the rich people do it. Oh, the hell do you arm? That's spelling right. Hopefully I can spell right. I have issues with spelling.
Amortization?
Yeah.
Amortization? Oh, yeah.
Right, so let's see if I can come up with something. All right, here you go. Loan type, mortgage. Let's change this to the scenario of 750. And interest for 5%. And 30 years. So check today's mortgage rates.
We were talking about 700, just so you know. Okay, but it's the same.
That's okay. No, I'm starting with 500 first.
Okay. 500? 750.
Yeah. No, but it's calculated on $500,000. No, 750. There you go, 750. Yeah, I'm sorry, my mistake. So let's change that. 700. No, I want to go to 500 first.
Okay.
There's a reason for it. That's 20% down. Everything we said was right.
Mm-hmm.
Search and calculate. Oh, there it is, right on top. 550. So it's actually the 400. Because
you remove the
cash.
Okay.
So here we go. Interest, look at this. Interest 1,600, principal that, right?
Yes.
So what is the total between 16 and this? Is about $2,000. I was right?
Yeah. And chunk, a little change, but yeah.
Whatever, but the whole game plan.
Yeah, you're right. Yeah.
Right?
Mm-hmm.
But if you paid only interest, look at that.
Yeah. Save the 480.
Right. So if you look here, you see this graph?
Mm-hmm.
The principal is going up, but your interest is going down.
Yes. X-curve.
Right?
So
let's go to the bottom of the 30 years.
All right, what is it?
Look at the interest here.
Yeah,
And the principal has gone up.
You said you flipped.
Right? So here's the yearly payments this guy is talking about. This is a yearly amount that you paid. You paid $6,000 in the whole year principal, and you paid $19,000 in interest. That $6,000 you paid to the bank, it's yours, right?
Mm-hmm.
Principal money is yours because that's your equity now. You're starting to build up, right?
Mm-hmm.
Do you ever get that interest back? You ever see it?
Of course not.
So this is the clue that you have to give them. So now you understand what I was talking about.
Yeah. Uh-huh.
This guy. So instead of paying $2,100, this will be less than that. It will be about $1,400 if you do interest-only loan. It doesn't show me how to do an interest-only loan here, but if I did an interest-only loan, this is about $1,400.
A bit lower. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So look how smart the rich guys are. What can you do with $600 with that every month? They're talking in the bigger amount, $1 million, $2 million properties.
Mm-hmm.
On that scale, they do a bigger chunk of return. Mm-hmm. So if they are saving, say, just pretend, they are saving $600 a month, every month,
mm-hmm.
times 12, 3,600, right?
600 times 12? No, it's 72.
7,200, sorry, 7,200.
Uh-huh.
I can take 7,200 and put it in stock market and make more money there.
Yeah.
This
stock market, insurance, whatever.
No, but this is what they're doing is they're taking the money and putting it somewhere else. That's what they're doing. So they're using their principle to make more money. Money makes money. That's the whole game plan behind it.
Absolutely.
So now you understand what I was talking about is when you talk to the client, don't pay. Right now, you don't have to pay principal and interest. Don't pay this. Pay only interest only. Because if you pay principal, then this is where you're going to run into problems. So pay only interest.
Okay.
Simple. So then you keep your monthly payments down, and after 2 years, what do you care? Sell the house. Go and stay at another place. So the whole game plan I was showing you on Remind, all these properties, they've been there for 20 years, but they haven't taken the equity out. If they were there for 20 years now, and had they done moves every 2 years, can you imagine the type of property they could have owned?
Yeah, of course.
Because if you take this scenario, you have to buy a property above the $650. You could have paid $650 and $1. That's the tax requirement. So that's why I went to 700.
Okay.
You have to go above what you bought it at. That's the next step. So you got to buy a property next. If I sell the property at 700, property that I bought and sold it at 800, I need to buy a property for anything above 800. That's the tax requirement. That's the next step. But if you look at what I've been doing, is dumping the 100,000 and 50,000 every profit I make, dumping it into it again.
Mm-hmm.
And my payment still keeps low. It doesn't change. So it's not making me broke every month. It's just giving me, because their income also goes up every year because they get an increase in pay, right? That sort of offsets paying this interest. And with an interest only, you don't have to pay this 2,700. Look at the 2,700 it's showing here. You pay less. It would be, 2,700 would be about 1,800, I think. Because if you figure that out pretty easy, your amortization, this is very simple. Once you grasp it, it makes it so simple. You just, all of a sudden, the whole mechanics and dynamics of the soul system changes. And you say, whoa, I can do this, I can do that. Yeah. That's why even how long you've been in your house. Think carefully.
16.
16 years, too long. You missed out on the money that you could have made.
Absolutely.
That is what's missing.
Absolutely.
If you come to Huntington Beach Harbor, I'm going to wipe this out. So let me just delete this first.
Sure.
And show you what I'm talking about. Remember Sean Stanfield? You know who I'm talking about? Sean Stanfield. Come on, you do remember him. Jody Clegg.
I know, yeah, I've heard of Jody Clegg, but not Sean.
Sean Stanfield was #1 before Jody. He was doing 300 million in sales. Jody was doing 60, 70. Was nowhere near what Sean was doing. And Sean still does. So watch this. I just want to give you a couple of scenarios.
Is he the first team?
No, he's not. He moved.
Oh, but he was then. Okay.
Yeah, he told Cam, take a hike. So yes, he's with Sotheby's.
Mm-hmm.
Look at this.
Oh, these are all his?
He's got a team that goes on next. These are all active with his team.
Wow.
He's at $2 billion
By himself?
between him and his team.
Oh, okay. Wow.
$2 billion from one guy? Look at the numbers. 3 million, 2 million,
Yeah.
1 million, 2 million, right?
Yeah.
Nothing wrong. Okay, so here's what's going on.
Are they all the same area, huh? Wow.
No, it's in a certain area of a kind, and you'll understand what I'm going to show you.
Gotcha.
He's always been in the harbor. This is where.
Oh, his turf is in harbor.
Yeah, that's where he lives in the harbor also.
Oh, okay. Okay.
So everything he did everything in the harbor, and this is where they lived. So no, that's not it. Here you go. This is all the way he lived.
Sunset. Okay.
No, not Sunset. This is the harbor. Sunset is this area here only. This
Okay.
is the harbor, right?
Harbor. Okay.
So what he's done, and he was so smart at it, he took somebody down here, for instance, and he moved them up here. And he took them from here and he moved them somewhere. From here, then he moved them somewhere here. He would always tell them, hey, I got a property coming up. You're interested? I think it's time for you to take care of it. So he would move them to the new property and sell their old property. He knows how to play the game. He knows how to handle the rich people. And the rich people only bought a property for 2 years. I figured this guy out first year that I was there. I said, wow, how is he doing so much? And then I looked up the names of the people and I said,
Same people.
hey, wait a minute, this person just moved here and this person just, what the hell? Boom, it clicked. I went up to Chuck Grant and I said, this is what I want to do. And Chuck just looked at me, he just kept quiet, he said nothing. Yeah, okay, that's a good idea. Bye, have a nice day. He never supported me. But that struck me, and then I took it to my first client. And I showed it to my first client. And I proved it to my first client. I did 3 deals within 1 weekend. Because I brought him from Long Beach. He bought a house for $80,000, sold it for 360, and I took the 360 amount and everything and put it into Huntington Beach at 510. Figure it out.
That's smart. Yeah, it makes sense.
So the whole game plan, these rich bastards, you meet with them, even though you make friends with them and you meet with them and you say, so how are you doing? So how's your house? What do you mean? How's your house? Do you remember that one with the blah, 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 blah? Oh yeah, no, I sold it. We moved. When did you move? Oh, just last year. Oh, okay. 2 years later, you go and see him again. So how's it going? Oh, good. How's your house? The new house. What new house?
Which one?
I just moved again. So this is what they're doing, is everything they're doing in the harbor is moving. But imagine these guys are making $800,000, right? But they keep the $500,000 and they pay 50% on the tax on the remaining amount, and boom, they disappear. This thing's going to cut us off, so log in back again. If you
Okay.
But now you see what I'm getting at, the concept. The same concept, it's with the leasing of a car, same thing.
Yes.
You can lease a car and give it back every 3 years. That's what I do with my kids' cars. They were getting new cars every 3 years. Recently, I just bought my youngest son's car back because it's a diesel, and they don't make these diesels anymore. So I got the diesel. I said, run it into the ground. I don't care. He says, I'm going to run it into about 500,000 miles. Diesels don't go wrong. That's the beauty about diesels. So see the concept of what I'm trying to get at.
Yeah, but I know you'll say something, but I understand there are 2 sides to this. Some people will buy into this, some people won't.
Now, there's no 2 sides to it. There's just one side to it. Do you want to retire or not? The second side is the guy is afraid to take the chance. That's the second side you're talking about. There's no 2 sides realistically. One is somebody's weak and they don't want to apply this application. Or the second side is, you know what, let's make it happen. Because I want to be as rich as the other guy too. That's the side.
Okay. Yeah.
There's no 2 sides to it. Realistically, these people, just because you haven't grasped the concept doesn't mean that you don't know it. There's no second side saying, yeah, there's a flaw to the system. There isn't a flaw. The problem is nobody taught you this system. Think of that. So giving you this analogy, try this one out. And then you'll understand what the hell's going on.
Yeah, I'm grasping it. I'm just saying all these characters are the same people. The owners are making money, and so are the agents. That's every transaction, right?
Yeah. So you can look this up, and your choice is up to you.
Sure.
But you'll find out.
I need to find a place like that.
No. But it's not find a place like that. I'm going to show you something else.
Okay.
If it cuts out, just come back in.
Sure. And have another question to after this.
That's fine.
What I mean is I want to find a niche like that. Doesn't have to be there, but a niche similar.
The niche is there. The problem is you're not applying. You see this thing? What is this?
It's a hotel, Best Western.
So when you go to this place, what do?
You stay for a few days only.
Okay. What are you renting there?
You're renting for the space.
Really? It's a trick question, but I'm asking you. You're going to laugh and you're going to fall off your chair.
What am I renting?
Yeah. The space or the room, you said that's what you were saying, right?
Yeah.
Can you pick up the room and move it with you to Disneyland?
No.
So you're not renting the room. You're renting the mattress because you're sleeping on the mattress. Oh. Watch this now. And this will shock you.
I thought you were going to talk about Airbnb.
No, they
It's funny you asked me that question because I just went to the PWR
Mhm.
a few days ago. I was asked what's the difference between going on a hotel and renting a house. Like you have a house that you're renting out. That's why when he said that, I was like, okay, which one?
Okay, you see this name here?
Yeah, I'm trying to figure that out. Okay, Blanc. I can't see Blanc American Hotel Owners Association. I know you're one of them, right?
No. But you see, look at this name. There's a name here.
Asian. I thought I saw the word Asian. Oh,
Right, but which agent? And not your kind of agent.
you're,
It's an Indian agent.
yeah.
81% of the hotels that are owned in the United States and even in Canada, in some cases, are owned by Indians.
Smart. Real estate.
Now, besides the sport,
Fine.
no, I'll show you something here. These guys are flying under the cloud. Nobody knows what's going on. They've cornered this market. Think carefully. They've cornered the freaking market. Hilton, who owns Hilton? Paris Hilton and them, right?
Yeah.
They just own the name. Think carefully what I just said.
Oh.
Trump Towers, who owns it?
Somebody else then. It's just his name.
No, Trump Towers, he owns it, but there's other places. Trump Building, he lends the name there.
Just like the one in New York, they said.
Right, but some of the properties, he has his name there.
Mm-hmm.
Gives a lot of clout.
Mm-hmm.
So saying with these guys, Sheraton and all those stuffs, Sheraton and all these guys are selling the name also it's a franchise, and these guys are picking it up, and that's the whole game behind it. So let's see here.
So is it why whenever I see, let's say, America's Best, it's a name only, and then most of them are owned separately by...
Right, it's owned by these guys.
Yeah. And that guy probably is the owner. He's not telling me. Because when I went...
No, because he's hiding behind.
He's saying, oh, I work here for them. Like, he works 24/7.
Yeah, look at.
I know it's him. But
If
it's
you
just
look-
I'm working
yeah,
only.
if you look at all these guys,
Uh-huh.
even though the golfers, there's events are sponsored by the white guys, but 99%, I'm trying to find pictures of them. And
Events. Go to events then, probably. No?
no, what's this?
Order.
Okay, just figure it out. Patel. Look at the names, right? Patel,
Yeah.
right? But look at who these people are. This is the only one. Is Humphrey is a white person, but look at all these guys.
Maybe she married a white too. She doesn't look. Yeah.
Yeah, but look at all these guys. Who are all these guys?
Same Patel.
Yeah, but they're brown. They're all browns,
Yeah, they're real. They're
right?
they're your guys. Yes.
So
There's a ton.
Yeah, right.
Uh-huh.
But these are all Indians. They came from India in a way.
Wow.
Look at the name. Look at the pictures.
Mm-hmm.
All of them,
Mm-hmm.
except for her.
Mm-hmm.
Even these guys on the top,
Mm-hmm.
Indians. They run the show. They own the whole thing. The concept is what I was trying to help you understand. This one, they rent the rooms only, and every 3 years, what they do is they throw the mattress away. It's a cost to them, which is nothing. So they throw the mattress away and get a new one. It pays off, and they got the whole room renovated again. Big deal. You go there, oh, this is great. Mattress is real solid. Hey, wow. Yeah. Property value has gone up, by the way,
I'm sure.
at your cost. Look at how smart these guys are figured out. So what is the difference with the house now? Same thing. In the last 100 years, has the property values gone down or up in United States?
It's always up.
It's always up. So if you bought a house 100 years ago, what do you think the price of the house was?
Probably 10% of what it is now. I know even 40 years ago, it was even under 100. I mean, typical houses here.
Right?
Yeah, so it's probably what, 5,000?
Right.
I would say.
Right. So here's a medium sales house price.
They
Look
have
at
a
it.
they have a history for that.
Yeah, it's available.
I mean,
So-
100 years ago.
no, it doesn't go 100, but
Okay.
it's showing you 2008.
I'm looking at it.
It took a nosedive to 2010,
Yeah.
Obama years and everything. Then when he was just getting out,
Mm-hmm.
what's happening right now?
Yep. I understand that. Yeah.
So this is nationwide. Yeah. So look at the closed sales. What has happened? Here's 2008 down here, and
Yes.
look where it is right now.
Still up. Yeah.
So if you look at graph of home sales last 100 years.
I won't be surprised if it's only 5,000 or even less.
Yeah, but look at it, 20,000, the prices of the homes were 20,000 nationwide. But look what has happened here. As it came down, I understand this part. This is where the 2008 crap shit was.
Yeah.
Understandable. We're not talking about that. But
Yeah.
look at the red line.
Yeah, it's steady. It's steady. There's also like this, but steady.
Okay. So when you buy your life insurance, where do you think these people invest? What's your suggestion?
What was your question again?
You buy a life insurance.
Yeah.
Where do they invest the money? The insurance companies take your money. Where do they go and invest?
In life insurance.
No. A life insurance company, you bought a life insurance policy.
Yeah. Where did they invest it on? They probably that much.
You don't know, right? 75% of the money is put into real estate. If these guys are putting into real estate, what is going on? Why are they putting it in real estate? Why don't they put it in the stock market?
Because it's more stable than stock market.
Bingo. So they don't lose their pants when you die and have to pay out your lump sum.
Mm-hmm.
They don't want to be losing money, right?
Mm-hmm.
So if you have a car and your car insurance, you keep paying, you're hoping that hopefully you have an accident, they'll pay out your car, right?
Mm-hmm.
Whatever, right? But you don't have an accident. What has happened to the money?
Down the drain.
Down the drain. So in the same formula, look at this. This is prices in UK. Same issue. It hasn't changed. Worldwide, it has the same effect. Medium single-family homes doesn't change.
Because I understand real estate will go up.
It'll never change. It's never going to change. The problem is everybody, look at the San Francisco housing. What is it doing? It's still climbing.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
So what people talk about in the US, there's going to be a recession and there's going to be this or that.
10 years in 10. Yeah, I heard that.
Recession is just a mindset. You, as a realtor, in recession or no recession, people can still buy and sell a house. They still need to live somewhere. 3 items. Remember, I've always told you guys the same thing. Humans have 3 requirements: food,
Shelter.
and clothing. Necessity. Without, you have one of the ingredients that you are dealing with. So when people are born, where are they going to live? All right? I'm surprised this hasn't kicked us out. It's over an hour. So there's your answer about this whole thing that we are talking about. Now you see what I'm talking about is when you talk to people with remind the 20 years and above, you need to tell them, hey guys, let's help you retire. So I have a program. I think I need to sit down and walk you guys through on it.
Yes.
I've written it up, and that's the whole game plan on that one is showing you how to move every 2 years and give them the plan.
I like that.
The question everybody has is what if, what if, what if, then don't sell, idiots. How simple is it? Oh, the market is going to tank. So let the market tank. You just sit back and watch.
What if it doesn't? Then you have lost out.
No, then sell again, you smarties. So the problem is they don't need to sell this amortization that we talked about, 3-5. After 3 years, oh, but then what happens after 3 years? Did I ask you to stay there for 3 years? I asked you to stay there for 2 years. What's your problem? All right. If the system goes down and you are still stuck in the system for 3 years, I have to pay you a balloon payment. No, you don't have to pay a balloon payment. You can refinance that property again for interest only again.
Yeah, you can also do that.
Those loans haven't disappeared. It's going to still be there.
Question, since you talk about refi, can you refi in the middle of the 3-year thing, or do you have to refi anytime?
You can refi anytime 6 months after.
Okay, that's what I thought.
They don't want you to do it within the first 6 months because they're losing money.
Yeah, they won't.
So they tell you to hold on, and after 6 months you can refi.
They want to make money first.
Right. They have a clause on it. That's why.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Shoot, I was going to say something, but I forgot. Oh, I was going to add on to what you said about. What did you say? I forgot. I had it there, then I lost track.
That's okay.
Okay, never mind. I'll just have a question.
A refi, something to do with refi. Just before refi.
I don't know. Probably it'll come out again. If not, oh well.
But
So
now you get this part.
yes, I totally understand that. Yeah, it's yeah, it makes sense. But then again, I'll just wait for your program, and
No, you don't have to wait for the program. The problem is you can start this right now.
conversation. Yes.
You can always. I used to stand in an elevator and I just look at the person and I said, "Hey, how would you like to retire within 10 years or 20 years with zero capital gains taxes?" And the guy looked at me. Can't be true. I said, "Yeah, you want to sit down and talk to me? Here's my business card." I gave them a 30-second elevator
speech.
Right. How would you like to retire in 10 years or 20 years with 1.3 million or $3 million? Zero capital gains. And I showed them like this, our hand. Zero capital gains taxes. Guy looks at me and says, "Are you smoking or what?" I said, "No." My card. And on my card, I wrote, "I'm not a realtor. I'm a real estate financial planner." I had a license in insurance as well. I had a life and health insurance license. So I took that combined and put it together to do what I was doing.
I want that because that's what I have right now. I'm trying to find a way to use that. Say, but your card says I'm not real estate licensed. You said
you don't need. No, I don't have my life insurance. I let it go, but I used it to understand. So.
No. What I meant is when you gave the card, you said I'm not a realtor, right? You said.
Yeah. On my card.
But which you are, right? Or you weren't before?
No, I was a realtor, but I never wrote on my card.
What did they say? So why did you say you're not when in fact you are after you talk to them? Let's say.
No, you're missing the point. My title was never a realtor.
Oh.
My title was real estate financial planner.
I got one from a guy too, almost exact like that. He said, "I'm not a realtor." Where's the card?
Yeah. So my first team card used to tell, "I'm not a realtor."
So you can change. I tried doing that before. They say you cannot do your own.
Says you.
My first team has to have a specific one. Anyway.
They do. You're missing the point. The title of I'm a realtor, I'm a sales consultant. That's what everybody puts. Look at the cards. Hold on a sec.
I need to change it then.
I have those idiots. Give me a sec. Oh, here you go. Michael Henry Can you see that? It's focusing.
It's shiny. It's reflecting.
Okay. Michael Henry is actually a director of productivity. What the hell is a director of productivity? You see what I'm getting at? So I might have other business cards.
Yeah, I can just probably text it to me.
I usually throw people's cards away because I don't want to deal with these people's cards. Oh, wait a minute.
Oh, I should take. Did you know there's an app that you take a picture of it and it just saves all the information?
Yeah, CC.
Yeah, mine's a we card. CC is probably nicer.
Okay, so I've got this one person here. Hold on. Listing coordinator. Okay, next.
Oh, I like those names. So you can change.
I'm a broker associate. All right, whatever. Business manager, Christine. Okay. Chief executive officer. Yeah, right, whatever. Agent broker owner. Broker associate. Sean Buell, sales manager. Okay, whatever. You're a bunch of idiots. Loan consultant. See, nobody is showing me. Broker associate, certified transaction coordinator.
Oh.
You get a lot of these things. This one here is a vice. Yeah, I'm a vice president. She's a broker, so I don't have to. That's Jennifer Chung. B Realty. This guy is. Yeah, he's in Chinese or Korean. I don't know. So I don't know what he's saying. Everybody gives a commercial real estate. That's everything is under their name. Realtor. This guy is a realtor. Berkshire Hathaway. MIC, MAIRS, CRS, CRIBs. They got titles. All these people have different weird titles. They think they. Oh, there you go. Alan Silva, realtor. There you go.
Well, I think it has to be stringent or stay at the same. So we just
No. Everybody wants to have a mortgage advisor. And mortgage advisor. What the hell is a mortgage advisor?
Lender.
Right. So you and I know it's a lender, but what does a client know?
So
right?
That's a wonder, yeah.
Acquisition manager. Well, there you go. I got a guy who's an acquisition manager.
Investor then.
Why didn't he say I'm an investor? Or investor consultant. Peter so-and-so, his title is Habla Español.
Hey, I have a slogan, don't laugh. I want to change it too, though. Because
what?
I want to incorporate real estate and financial, right? So right now, before I became a life insurance agent, I was a real estate, so I put the real estate simplified. People thought it was the name of a company. I said, no, it's my slogan.
Financial simplified?
No, it's real estate simplified. Because I want the word Sim, my last name Sim. So I just found a way to incorporate that. Why are you shaking your head?
You're trying to put it into a .com type of thing also. That's where it's getting to. What I'm trying to make you understand is, I understand your idea. There's nothing wrong with it.
Uh-huh.
But if the consumer is getting confused, then why use it?
So it's confusing?
It's confusing. You just said it, that somebody told you it's confusing.
No.
No, hold on. You just said something earlier. What did you say about the name?
Oh, no. I said I want to incorporate something else. Oh, people thought it was the name of the real estate company.
See what I'm getting at?
Oh, okay.
Proven point.
Oh, gotcha.
So why didn't you say Connie Sims? Real
No
estate?
S.
No, I'm missing Connie Sim. At the bottom, say real estate financial advisor.
Oh, that's what I'm thinking. So it's both, right? Real estate financial advisor. Thank you. That'll be my next one.
Yeah, but you're not a realtor. You're a consultant when it comes to financial. This is finance. Isn't this finance? So then you're
Yes.
working. So then what are you fluffing about?
I don't know. A lot of people probably don't understand that.
When you start confusing the consumer, you're gonna lose.
So what should be the?
Don't try to outsmart these guys and try to say I'm the. The problem is you're trying to put yourself on a pedestal. Don't do that.
I tried, hopefully not, yeah.
Right. So that you're doing it subconsciously. You're doing is putting yourself on a pedestal.
Okay.
But instead of doing that, say, look, I'm a chief financial advisor. Would you like some financial advice? I'll give you financial advice.
So is that the best title I can get?
So you say real estate financial advisor. You're not a salesperson. You got the life insurance information. You got real estate. You combining the two to make one item, right?
Correct.
So your whole game plan is to show somebody that, hey, you know what? I am trying to show you how to live a better life using real estate.
Mm-hmm.
And that's what the whole game plan is. Well, that's what you're telling everybody. This is what I show you is how to make money at the end of the game plan.
Mm-hmm.
So why are you going about the wrong way and telling them confusing is what are you? What are you doing? How are you doing? Your whole game plan should be basic. You need to tell them straightforward, I am so and so. No, hold on a second. I'm trying to find something else about it.
I was just thinking about how to change it. I know because I wanted to.
You don't need to change it. You need to simplify it. Your problem is you're not simplifying it, and that's where the problem is.
So, real estate financial advisor.
No, not financial planner.
That's it. Everything's under there.
Real estate financial planner. You're planning people. You plan their life.
Okay, I like that.
That's what you're trying to do. Don't confuse it with anything else.
Like?
No, anything. You bring up anything else, you're confusing the hell out of everybody else.
Okay, so that is a good name then. I need description. I don't want to say title, the description, because they'll say, what do you do, right? So, yeah.
No,
before I asked you, I was going to say wealth advisor, real estate wealth advisor.
Well, what is a wealth advisor? What is it? What's that mean? Think of it. Look at it up. Wealth advisor, what, are you going to make me a lot of money?
They have to say, are you rich already? So yeah, I'm going to get that.
You don't want people to question you about your title. That's where you're running.
That's as much straightforward then. Yeah, I like it. Real estate financial planner.
You're just a real estate financial planner, and that's what the whole game plan is. You're trying to do something. What the hell?
Let me look for that card. I'll show you. But don't you have your old card? Don't you say? Did you not say so? You can share with me how you put.
I have another card, but that doesn't have that one. I need to look up I think I might have it upstairs, but I don't have it down here. But I know on my first team, that's what I wrote. I didn't write anything. It took me a while to write that. When I changed it, I said, this is it. I'm a real estate financial planner. I'm done. Because
I like that.
Every time I gave it, it gave me more clout to be, because I knew what I was talking about. And that's what made it effective.
Give me 1 second. Give me 1 second. See, I just met this guy. I buy houses fast. And he goes, I am a buyer, not a realtor. I can blah, 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 blah.
Yeah, but that's bullshit. Why didn't you talk to them nicely? You know what? What do? I'm a real estate financial planner. How would you like to retire? Everybody wants to retire.
Mm-hmm.
And that's what you're trying to tell these people. Right?
Mm-hmm.
So I'm trying to find the name of this thing here. How?
Let's see. The affluent?
Yeah. I have a special thing I've written up. How the affluent
people
make money, I think.
Mm.
'Cause I
That's what make money.
don't think it's here. Wait a minute. There you go. If this is what I think it is, yep. You got yourself a checkpoint. Read this, and by next week, you're going to have to tell me a little bit about it, and you'll understand what I'm talking about.
How I understand it, sure. It's only 12 pages, so I can do that.
How many pages?
12 pages, it says right there.
I think it may be wrong. Where?
What? Down there.
It says 12.
Yeah.
Okay, you see this tale of two brothers?
Uh-huh.
Look at it carefully, you'll understand what I'm talking about. This whole system was set up for a certain reason, but it's more to do is take your money out and how to put it into annuities and various other stuff. This was written by a wealth builder, and I used him and I helped with him, the guy who wrote it.
Uh-huh.
We used to do radio commercials, not radio commercials, a radio talk show on Saturdays.
Oh.
So
Okay.
I'll tell you.
Yeah, I want to hear that because, like,
Look at this. You see how the affluent manage home equity to safely and conservatively build their wealth.
mm-hmm.
But realistically, he's talking about equity.
Gotcha.
I'm not asking you to take the equity out. These guys are trying to do is using that money and putting in annuities and insurance and that. They're kicking you and me in the gutter, basically. But they say using the similar concept is reinvesting your money, and that's what this is all about. That's what I'm trying to help you understand.
Mm-hmm.
So, if you look at the tale of two brothers, these tale of two brothers, one believes in buying stuffs and the other one believes in leasing stuffs. The one who leases is the one who wins at the bottom. Look at the $1 million 1 year.
Mm-hmm.
See that?
Mm-hmm.
See this? Versus 600,000 versus this guy.
Mm-hmm.
The guy who does leasing and things like that, he makes more.
Mm-hmm.
It gives you all the stuff, but I gave you the whole thing in a snapshot. When I wrote this Word doc art for you right here,
Mm-hmm.
this is basically the simplified version of the whole thing.
Gotcha.
So I'll send you this. In fact, I'm going to.
And I think I understand that, the lease thing, because remember I just went from a PWR class and I was talking about.
Yeah, but they confuse you, these guys at PWR, because they're trying to get themselves, do things for themselves. And
Yeah.
they're trying to make money on you for that reason.
Yeah.
Oh, give me a second here. Do I have it here or not?
Because the guy was a mortgage, but he didn't sell anything. He was educating.
No,
Before
he's selling mortgage too. He's just trying to get business for himself.
yeah.
That's the game plan. That's what they do. So give me a second. I just need to load this.
Yeah, thank you. Well, basically, yeah. So whichever works, I want to see that. I understand. Actually, the guy who I met also yesterday, I was going to tell you, he was telling me something about that too. Using the equity to invest on life insurance, FFIUL, which I understand.
Yeah, but your whole game plan is don't let people get steered into life insurance and all that type of thing, because the common person doesn't have enough money to do those type of things. If you give them a single steering item to work with, is basically taking money, selling the house, buying another property and selling the house, just doing the same thing over and over, then yes, that makes much more sense for these people. Because when you talk about annuities and all those type of things, they're like, the eyes glaze over. They don't understand it because they have no concept. They're not as educated. The people that are not educated are the ones that you want to talk to.
Gotcha.
Because 80 to 90%, these guys haven't got barely a high school degrees. Those are the people that are owning houses now over the years, right? Your parents and everybody's parents. Look at their education skills. So they don't have that. So don't give them and confuse them. So just tell them, you know what, let me show you how to make money, but I'm going to give it a simpler way to make you help you money. Give me a second. Where's the?
Okay.
Oh, it's Collins.
World's first. You're so funny. You texted me one time something else. I'm like, "Is this for me?" And you go, "Oh no, it's not for you."
It was somebody else. My kid. I was trying to chew him out.
Like, what the heck is this?
Yeah, I gave him a chew out, and I was just joking with him also.
Yeah, that's fine.
And
I knew it wasn't for me. I'm like,
you got into a crosshair in the wrong.
yeah. It has happened. Like you're texting somebody, and then somebody texted you, and you think you're answering that person, and
you're not.
Long as you're not saying anything else.
By the way, Gary was supposed to be on, and I was supposed to answer Gary's question of something else.
What happened?
But he didn't get on. So he just missed out.
Yeah.
So what's this?
So, yeah, after you sent, I have a question.
Yeah, shoot.
So yesterday I went to this person who lived here. The house is owned by her mom in a trust, but the mom passed already a long time ago. It's not a probate, it's just there because it's in a trust, but she's living there. She doesn't want it sold yet until she passes. She says she's I don't know how many long. So we talked, and then I met her and her brother there. To make the story short, I was trying to offer her and say, you know what? What if I can find an investor who can probably give you a proposal that could say, hey, we can move you somewhere. She goes, oh, do I have to rent? I have no money to rent. And I'm saying, maybe they can include that in the proposal. Say, we'll let you live somewhere. It's possible. Because she doesn't have enough money. Her house is dilapidated. Because of her health, she cannot fix the house. And it's really in a bad condition. And she has fixed income. So, we want
to... First of all, your first question should have been is, your house was given to you in a trust.
Well, okay, she is not a successor trustee, that's for sure. I know it's her sibling. She's the one I saw, and I just saw her brother yesterday.
No, something's missing. Something's missing. You're not giving me the whole picture.
I'm not that. Oh, what?
There's something missing. Who is the person you're talking to?
She is the daughter of the one who owns the house that passed already, long time ago.
So let's start with that. What's the address?
525 Valley View.
525 Valley View?
Yeah, I think I mentioned that to you a long time ago.
Yeah, but is Valley Forge there?
Fullerton, down second there, by Joan Layton. Her mom passed already. That's Joan Layton.
That's fine. I want to get the story straight. I think you're missing something already.
Okay. So I need your...
So I'm going to clear this out. I think you're barking up the wrong tree already in the wrong way.
That's the house.
Joan Layton B. Trust account. It's in the trust. Right here, I can see it, ownership of it's a trust corporation. So you got Bruce and you got Robert. Who are these two people, renting or what?
These are relatives because they have the same last name. You know how they marry and they change name, but these are family members. I've never met these two yet.
Who's owning the house? Who's on this as a successor?
She said there's a sister and a brother. So probably one of them. It's none of the two I met.
So it's got to be Robert. It's got to be one of the, is it possibly Robert?
Yeah, but the brother I met was Tom. So Tom.
Okay, so let's say if it's Tom, and who's the other person?
I don't know. It's a sister. She said it's a sister who lives out of state.
No, you didn't answer the question. Who are you talking to?
Oh, Carolyn. Carolyn Cusack Nunez now. Carolyn Cusack.
So Carolyn Cusack
lives there.
Okay, so under the trust, is the property paid off? Is the question I have. Is the property paid off?
It looks like it, yeah.
So if it's paid off,
it's paid off, yeah.
If it's paid off, then what is she worried about not being able to afford another place? She's going to get money out of this house if she sells it.
Yeah, okay.
I think you're missing the point.
Okay, I forgot to look at that.
It's not forget to look at it. If you get them out of this house, they got money in their hand.
That was my point, to sell it and then they'll divvy it up, right? Divvy
Right. So then why are you bringing in this picture about she's saying I can't afford to rent? What are you talking about?
Oh. Because I don't know what I was saying, because she was saying that
No, you're missing the point. All right. So I want you to stay focused. What I'm trying to help you understand is
okay.
there's money in this house.
Yes.
If I sell the house, then what happens to the proceeds? You didn't ask that question. Yeah, the problem is you're listening to the sad story. You're not listening to, hey, let me show you how this can work for you guys.
Okay.
You see where you're missing the whole game?
Yes.
Then you're getting involved emotionally into the system. It's the wrong way. You need to go in as an advisor. Remember the same thing. I just told you earlier, real estate financial advisor or planner. I was a real estate planner purposely, but then I'm advising you. What do? I advise people about real estate. You are not there to solve what's your problem when you leave this house. You're already stumped. They told you, well, if I sell this house or somebody buys this house, I don't know what's going to happen to me. You're confusing into the story. You're getting all tied up in this story. Hey, if I help you sell this house, you're going to make some money. I have an investor that can come in, buy the property, cash you guys out, and guess what? You guys will have money in your pocket. How about $200,000? This thing is worth $700,000. If we sell it for $600,000 cash, you don't have to repair the property. The person will come in and just wipe the whole property down. And please don't take it the wrong way, because you know what? I know you love your parents' home. You're sentimental about it, but at this point, we are trying to find your financial solution. You can't be sentimental and find a solution. You have to find a solution and take that route. You have to become a cold cut surgeon. You cannot be emotionally, I'm so sorry you're going to be left out in the cold. Yeah, I can give you my umbrella that you can sleep under that. No, you can't get this emotional way with these guys.
Okay.
They're going to eat you up. That's where people get lost. They think they're in this business to make money, but then they get lost. I want to help people. My big fat ass, they want to help people. You're there for the 3% commission. Don't tell me you're not there for the 3% commission. So that's your ulterior motive. So why are you I want to help people. You want to help people, then work for non-profit groups. It's like Mike Ferry telling you. He's blunt when he tells you these things. The problem is people come out with this glorified little effect and say, oh, I want to help and change the world. My ass. You don't want to change the world.
Change the world.
Right? So what's this? And I think I'm going to blow you away, because you're going to say, I never thought about this. Yeah, you haven't thought about it because you didn't see it. And you haven't learned about it. And this is where I'm getting a little tired of this, what do you call it?
Explanation.
No. It's this classes that I'm giving out, people are getting they're not climbing. And that's what I'm running into. So, where are you? Oh, found it. Let's try this. I'm going to see with your property how it comes out.
Mm-hmm. Interesting. It says the value was, no, the equity was 700.
Yeah, so let's find out. It should have filled in. It's this one here.
Touch listings.
So this is it.
Yes.
This is the property. And this one, the properties are high. So let's take the millions out. It's not worth the crap million.
No.
Even the 800 is a little too high. We'll leave everything in the sevens.
So basically you only have 3 then.
I'll leave a few of them. There's a few others here too.
Yeah, they're in 6. I don't know where they left it.
Well, let's try this. Actually, I'm trying to look for something else. This isn't what I'm after, but I'll show you what I'm after. So watch this. Okay, so let's go to report. And it's going to give me an answer of a kind that I want.
Yeah.
Yeah, it gave me an answer.
No.
You see this carefully? What is this?
Yeah, I tried that. I got suckered in that too.
There's no socket. This is not a socket. They will give you, have you seen this property inside? Watch this. There's no socket. These are investors.
Yeah.
So they are willing to become your buyer. And when you go to the listing presentation, I already have a buyer for you. Are you interested?
Yeah.
It's got nothing to be suckered. I learned this. I became a certified guy for this particular program.
Okay.
So right now, these guys will make you an offer. We found a potential buyer.
I get started, right? Yeah.
Do you want this potential buyer? It's giving you the answer. We have a potential buyer for this house. They will even contact you.
The iBuyer. They will even what?
They'll even contact you and everything. They'll let you do the transaction. They're not gonna let you go on your own. The system has been created for you guys to win the listings.
Okay.
You guys are missing out on this. You guys haven't been using right now. If I say get started, it will start the process. Don't be afraid. You don't have to pay a penny.
Yeah, I did try before.
Right. They will call you and say, all right, we have a buyer. Are you interested? Make them an offer for $400,000.
Okay.
What do you care about? If I came with you and you said, all right, I don't have a buyer, but I'd love to sell your home. I'll make you a lot of money and blah, blah, blah. You walk away, I go in now. And I say, you know what, Mr. Seller, I have a potential buyer already for your home.
Mm-hmm.
I can get an offer and everything set up for you. I don't know what the offer is right now, but they're willing to look at your property and make you an offer. But I do have a buyer in hand right now.
Mm-hmm.
Would you like to let me do the listing? I guarantee you'd lose. Look at what these guys created the program for.
I actually told them I have investors already.
No. Don't say investors.
Okay.
I have buyers.
Okay, I have buyers.
You don't have to show them anything. You don't have to prove them anything. Yeah. If I cancel this and you open up this on your laptop at the home, says, look, you see this? I have offers ready for you. If I click on this, then I just showed it to you right now. I have offers on all these other properties also that I've been playing around with. I keep forgetting to talk to these people and tell them, all these agents.
Mm-hmm.
They just do it. Oh, you know what? Can you help me? I said, yeah, what? Can you get me this lead generation landing page? That's all they're interested in right now. They're not worried about, if I get a listing, if I go on a listing, I have an offer. Wait. Your son's making a noise. Tell him I'm going to come up there and beat him on the pulp. Funny making it.
Yeah.
So the whole game plan is, this is ace in the hole. And you got to talk with authority and tell them, I have a buyer that is ready to look at your property and make you an offer. You see, this is where you're falling short. I have a buyer and he will definitely buy your house. That is not the way you're trying to look at it. I have a buyer that is willing to make you an offer. If the offer is good or bad, I don't know that, but I have a buyer that's ready to make you an offer. It's a bluffing game of a kind, but it's not been deceiving. It's been honest about it. So I can go up against the top-notch guy and I can beat him to it and say, you know what? I have an offer ready for you. Are you interested in looking at an offer? Yeah, what's the offer? It could be a low ball offer, but I have a buyer. I didn't lie. right? What they going to offer, I don't know. Try this. Put this thing up. Put the address in the Cloud CMA and see what happens. And now go to them and says, you know what? I have a buyer for you. Don't talk about investors. See, the problem is you're throwing things off. I have investors, they already know they're going to cheat, lowball me. Think carefully. It's a mentality of how people perceive things. You have an investor, yeah, I don't want to sell it to an investor. Why not? They're going to make money on profit on me and they're not going to give me a full price. I have a buyer. Oh, you have a buyer. Who's your buyer? None of your business. I'm not supposed to tell you that. Right? Isn't that the whole disclosure that we have set up? Don't tell them anything about the buyer except I have a buyer interested in buying your home. You interested in selling? Let's talk. Every house listing you go to, this thing will pop up. This is new. There's your ace in the hole. Gary and none of these other guys know about it. I need, mic is off. I need to tell these guys, as I go and talk to them, if you're using Cloud CMA, you have an ace in the hole now.
So I also have one that I haven't listed yet, but she's telling me she's not sure whether to sell or to rent or to lease out. But I probably, should I just say, hey, I found a buyer. You still want to list or not? We've been trying to get hold of her already, talking. She was trying to fix her.
Do the CMA. What's this? Hold on.
349.
Hold on.
Let me see if it's 349. I think it's 349.
What's the address?
349.
349.
New Hampshire. New Hampshire Way. Sure Way. Placentia. This is right there. Placentia, the first one. Move back. It will come out. There.
How old is your son?
Sorry, 15.
Oh?
16?
16?
Yes.
Yeah, tell him he's not making money. You need to make money, so he needs to shut up. No, seriously, I would tell him. How many times have you told him to shut up? See, this is where kids don't get the idea. Try making a living, and then you find out. They don't get it.
Yeah.
In fact, if you called him down and said, if I talk to him, he says, you're 16, you know what, you're rude. Your mom is trying to make money and learn how to make money, and you're disturbing her learning.
Yeah.
Here's your request offer.
Yeah.
What did I do wrong?
What did I do wrong? What did you do wrong?
No, what did I do wrong? Nothing, right?
Nothing.
It's available.
Yeah.
Take it. Take this. You have a laptop or whatever with a Wi-Fi and everything. Show it to them right on.
Okay.
Log into your MLS and then log.
But I only show it when she accepts it. Because what if?
No. You're missing the point.
Okay, what's the point?
This is a listing appointment you're working on.
Oh yeah.
I don't know where I'm losing you, but I'm losing you somewhere, and that's what's screaming at me. I'm losing you somewhere. This is supposed to be simple enough to tell you that, hey, this is a listing appointment that I can go to and say, look, the value of your house, if I sold your house, it's going to be X, Y, and Z, and here's the CMA on it. And your value of your house is blah, 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 over here, 6 something, blah, 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 whatever. I'm not interested in that. I don't want to talk about that. But to get the listing contract, I want to show you, I also have a buyer available for you guys. I don't know what the offer is going to be. I haven't talked to them and they haven't looked at your house. But I have a solid buyer ready, sitting in the background. Are you guys interested in selling your home? If you're interested in selling your home, sign. That This is the game that you need to do. The game is sign the contract. Let's get this contract going. So there's three things going to happen today. First, I'm going to ask you three questions. Do you absolutely have to sell your home today? Go ahead. You're the seller. Do you absolutely have to sell your home today? No, what are you shaking your head for?
No, I'm trying to do what she's telling me. I'm not sure if I...
You're listening to the question. I'm not, it's not your...
Okay.
We're role-playing.
Yes, I am. Of course.
Do you absolutely have to sell your home today? Yes.
Yes.
Okay. Do you want to keep your home on the market for a long period of time, or do you want to price it right?
Price is right.
You want to price it right. Do you want me to handle a listing for you?
Sure.
Watch this.
This is an easier way. Oh, that's a Mike Ferry. I've never seen his face before. I always just I can't hear anything.
You can't hear it? That's right. On your YouTube. Go to YouTube and get in.
Objectives most ages face, right?
Right. No. This is just one of them. I'm telling you, there's so many of these stuff.
Oh, okay.
Prospecting method, common objections. This is everybody talks about. What type of information is best for your real estate salesperson?
Okay.
The 6 skills. What do you need? This is one of them. I think you need. But out of selling, presenting, and one-on-one retreat. I've been to all these. I've gone through and listened to it. I picked it up. I pick up these things fast. And these are all the stuffs. How to become. You have to go through it. Just put yourself every day. Go through one of them. Every day, just go through one of them. Don't have to exactly memorize what he's saying. Just listen to it in the background. You could be doing other stuff. Listen to it. But I guarantee you, you'll get to understand what he's saying. And what I just told you right now, 3 questions I asked you. Do you absolutely have to sell your home today? Do you want to price your home, or do you want to price it right, or do you want to keep your property on the market for a long period of time? Do you want me to handle the home listing for you? Now, there are 3 things that's going to happen today. 1, you're going to agree. If you notice something, I'm also doing my head up and down.
Yes.
You're going to agree to list your home with me today. Second, you're going to disagree to list your home with me today. I didn't do this. I went up and down because I want you to, I'm controlling your move.
Yes.
Third, I'm going to disagree to list your home today. And that third part, when you tell these people, says, I'm going to disagree to list your home today. You don't like that, right? Why not? Why are you going to disagree to list your home? There's your kid at the back.
That's my other kid.
You just lost, okay.
Yeah, I covered it.
That's okay. No, you don't have the kid. I didn't want you to cover it. So I thought it was the other kid. So here's what I'm trying to get at. So you're going to ask me, why don't you want to list your home today? Everybody wants to list my home. I want to sell it. Why are you refusing? You know what? That's a good question. I'll tell you why. I usually leave it for the last, but let me answer it for you right now. You and I might disagree on the price. I have a set price, but you have a vision price. Your price is like a dream. It may not compute. I have the facts. You don't have the facts. You have zero facts. Zero facts sucks. Right? So this is the whole thing. The problem is everybody's arguing. You know what? They all want to, they Zillow and Redfin and all that. They're not your competition. The problem is they're making you your competition. You're putting it in a mindset. That mindset is your mindset, not theirs. You need to educate these people, take them down the path and say to them, look, stop talking about Zillow and Redfin and all these things. Stop talking about it. Talk about the facts. I'm the person that knows what's going on with the market, not you. What are you looking at there? What are you looking that way for?
Oh, I was asking him to get me some water.
That's right. But now you understand who's the expert. The consumer is an expert, or you the expert. If you are the expert, don't let them become an expert. They're controlling you. And that's why he's talking about don't let them control you. See what
Yeah,
I'm saying?
it's looking like that. It looks like I hate. It sounds
Yeah,
like
you're not going in there with an authority. You're going to say, do you really want to sell your house? But I know I have some buyers, but the problem is you need to go into with authority. Do you want to sell your home or what? Give me an answer. What do you want to do? Do you want to sell your home? Yeah. All right, so let me show you how I'm going to help you sell your home. Now you take control and take charge of this thing. You don't take charge of these guys, they're going to screw you. They're going to walk all over you.
Yeah.
And that's what most realtors do. That's why, remember this spot and what's this? And this is one of the best facts that I like to show people, and people, it blows them away. It's just, what do you mean? And I say, yeah, what do you mean? Watch this, idiots. And that's when I really like to mess them up. What is this spot here? You see that?
Buyer,
How much?
agent, compensate. 2.5. Thank you.
2.5, right?
Yes.
2.5. Why is it 2.5?
Because I'm the listing agent, I'm going to make sure that I take care of it.
What should it be?
Half of what it is.
No. What should it be normally?
If you're asking me, what should it be?
Yeah. How much would you like to make?
How much would I like to give?
No, you're missing the point. My questions are simple. This is in Palm Springs, but how much would you like to make? I didn't ask you give or anything. I said make.
Oh, okay, the most, right?
How much is the most? How much is
4.
So why is it 2.5?
Because the negotiation skill of the listing agent.
Is weak.
Yes, sir.
How much is this house? 535?
Yeah,
Well, look at the percentage here.
2. Yeah. It's sad,
Why are you going to show this property if it's at 2%?
of course.
Huh?
That would be the last one.
No. I didn't ask you that question. Are you going to show this property if it's at 2%? You're going to only make 2%. You're not going to show this property. Why? Because you're not making enough money. Is it paying your bills? It's not going to pay your bills. And that's the game plan I'm trying to help you understand. So
Yes.
let's look at the $1 million properties. Watch this. How much?
Is it 3.5? I can't see. It's too small.
2.5.
It's 2.5. It's too small. Can't see. It's 25,000. There you go.
Yeah?
Yes.
Here's your problem. The problem is when first team taught you what? Your negotiation skills sucks. You're weak at your negotiation. Mike Ferry says the same thing. If your negotiation skills are weak, you'll never make the money that you need to make. And that's where you run into a problem. So with that said, Craig Proctor, which is another guy, when he talks about, even Mike Ferry does, Mike Ferry says, the commission is what you work with the contract and how you work it. So if I show you, watch this. When you write up an offer for a listing presentation, when you take your listing paperwork, you leave the percentage items blank, right?
Yes.
I don't. Difference. So watch this. When I've been teaching this, so name of the entry.
Well, in fairness, I tried doing that one time, and the
No, hold on. You didn't do it right. Trust me on that. I already know you didn't do it right.
Okay.
And that's where the problem is.
Sounds good.
So template, yes. And that's where everybody fails. People think, you can't do this, you can't do it. There's no such thing as you can't do anything. It's all BS. So when you open this up, don't tell me you can't see this.
I can.
I learned a new trick and found out how to do it.
How to zoom it?
Yeah, it has a zoom in feature upstairs here.
Oh.
It says normal here and full screen.
Oh, okay.
So I've been teaching to some of these old people too in this. Oh, wow. So you see.
Oh, you mean in the Zoom? On the zip form?
Yeah.
Gotcha.
So you see this is where you put your commission, right?
Yes.
I do this. I leave it there. So now if you're the seller, this is what I tell you. And the way you talk to them, and this is the way you should talk to them. The problem is you normally talk, they're saying, you know what? So I charge normally 7%. They look at you and say, you're going to be nuts, right? We already know where this thing is going. So you're going to be nuts. I'm not paying 7%. No, I understand that you're not paying 7%. So let me help you understand this a little bit. By the way, I'm not charging anything. My company requires 3%. Listen to the wording. My company requires 3% for all the marketing and all the paperwork and everything that we do and work with you just to sell your property and put it on the market. We're going to take 3% off the commission. Now, how much would you like to offer the other side?
2%.
2%. Now, Mr. Seller, if you were the buyer's agent and you saw 2%, 3%, and 4% on 3 different properties, which house would you show first?
4%.
So why are you telling me offer 2%?
I just think 2% is enough for them.
It's not enough because you want to sell your, remember I asked you 3 questions. Do you want to keep your property on the market for a long period of time or do you want to sell it right? Price it right. If you want to price it right, let's price it right, but at the same time, offer the right compensation because the other side is going to look at it and if I can get you more money in your pocket, let's offer a little bit more. It's just the honey versus the bee. If I put honey out there, the bee is going to come in, right? Mm-hmm. So if I offer 4% on your behalf, we're going to get more offers coming in. Think carefully. More sellers, or actually more buyers agents will look at it and they will all run to the same property. Mm-hmm. So if I can get more people coming to your offer and raise and increase your offer by doing a counter offer, here's what we're going to do. We're going to sit in my office and we're going to let each one of them come in one at a time and present the offer in 5 minutes. Within the first 5 minutes, they all make an offer. We'll get them out and get the next person in. We'll listen to all the offers. Then we'll do a counter offer to all of them. So if they don't give us a full price offer, which is what you really want. So with that said, if I give you more money than full price, is it better for you or not? Are you getting more money in your pocket? That's what I'm after. How I get the more money, it's a marketing technique that we use. First Team uses this marketing technique, and I want to help you with that. So let's offer 4%, bring all these offers in and the buyers, and we'll let them start bidding war. Once the bidding war goes in, let's take the best out of those and we'll have first place and the second place. will offer both of them and say, look, first place, you start escrow. Second place, if first place doesn't fulfill their contract, we'll kick them out and we'll bring you in as a second place person, as a backup.
Yes.
Now, the first 5 or whatever number of offers comes in, they start with $500,000. We send them a counter offer, and each one now comes with 505, 510, 515, whatever the different offers they come in with. We'll look at that and see who's the best one. So if I get you, your property was $500,000, and we started the bid at $500,000. We started the bid at $500,000, and all of a sudden, somebody, and we accept an offer at $515,000. How much profit did I help you make?
15.
So for that 15,000, what is 1%?
5,000.
No. What is
15,000 or 515?
what is 1% of this?
Oh, 1%, that is 150.
So you're going to give $150, and you're going to make how much? 14,000 something, right? And change.
14,850.
So if you're going to make $14,850, you're giving $150 away. Something wrong with the picture? You want to make that 15,000 or not?
Yeah.
Then why not give them 4%?
Well, before you explained to me, this is like a seller. I thought I had to give my 1%, extra 1%.
You're giving extra. It's another way. For $15,000, I'm giving extra. You paying 1% of $15,000. Right? You can calculate it. How much is 7% of sorry? Let's rephrase it. What is 6% of 500? Calculate that.
That's 5,000. 500 times 6, right?
Yeah.
1,000.
30 grand. 30 grand, right?
30,000. Yeah.
30,000, right?
Yes.
So what is 7% of 515?
35.
45?
35.
35, right?
Yes.
You're only paying how much in commission? 5 grand extra.
Yeah.
Totally, realistically. But you got 15,000 there on top.
That's what I thought. Yeah.
You're still making 10 grand.
Yeah.
What the hell are you bitching about? You see the concept?
Yes.
But if I gave you 25,000, what is 25,000 extra?
Oh, so it's 525.
Yeah, what's the amount?
525. That'll be 10,000 more. So it'll be. So you have 20,000 in your pocket then.
No. What's 7% of 525?
Oh, 525, 7%. Okay, let me see. 36,750.
36,750.
Yes.
How much are you paying? Look at the amount realistically. It's minuscule. Now, Mr. Seller, if I don't get you the price above asking price, which is your asking price is what? 500,000? If I don't get you money above that, you pay us, you just pay 6%. Don't worry about it. Default to 6%. Yeah? So now you want to be a little greedy. I'm not saying greedy, but intelligent. When your buyer comes in to buy this house, you got to double end it now. You tell your Mr. Buyer, by the way, Mr. Buyer, I get compensated by the seller, but I do require compensation from the seller, buyer too. I'm just going to let you know that I do charge 4%. My fees are 4%. And you need to get above $500,000. You're going to get, you're putting in 500,000. You're going to buy the house for 500, but your total lender is going to be 400,000 because you're going to pay $100,000 in loans. Actually, 100,000 in a down payment, right? So you're only getting a loan for 400,000. So what I need you to do is, what is 4 times 5?
20.
20,000. Ask your lender to put 20,000 additional to your loan. So your loan will be 420.
So you're talking in terms of being a beller, right? After you help him sell, he's going to buy it. Is that what you're saying? Or is it for his buyer?
No, this is for the buyer now. I'm talking to the buyer.
Oh.
I'm double lending it.
Oh, yeah, gotcha.
I'm double lending it. So if I'm double lending, I'm talking to the buyer.
Mm-hmm.
Mr. Buyer, tell your lender to, because if you're getting 420 with $100,000 down, your loan to value is a little different, but who cares? I don't care. Just tell your lender to give.
That's probably 19%. I don't know.
Whatever it is, but you can bring out the 20%, $20,000. Negotiate with the buyers accordingly, right? But see what I just did here? So if you're smart, you're going to tell your lender to shut the hell up and say, hey, lender, tell the buyers, yeah, we need to pay this agent $20,000.
Mm-hmm.
And you can give a referral fee of $10,000 to or $5,000 to the lender.
I thought it's a no-no.
You can give a referral fee if you want. You can even say $5,000 go to closing costs. There's a lot of ways to play this game.
Okay. As long as you say it's okay to do referral, I thought it's a no.
What? Referral to who?
I don't know. Or maybe the other way around.
Referral to a licensed person. Not
So
a kickback. I didn't say a kickback. I said a referral fee.
Is it tantamount to the same?
How?
It's just rewording it.
No, there's a form called referral fee.
Oh, to the lender, you said.
Yeah.
I've never heard of that. I just thought, yeah, okay.
You can give a referral fee to anybody as long as it's disclosed.
Yeah, referral. Oh, yeah, gotcha. Referral, yeah.
Referral.
Anybody to anybody. It could be anybody.
Long as it's disclosed.
So even a non-licensed?
No, I didn't say non-licensed. I said licensed.
Okay, licensed, right? Okay. So licensed lender or realtor, you're saying. Okay. Shoot, I forgot what.
So how much is this now total? 7 plus 4.
So you can do that? So you can ask from the buyer on top of what you told the seller to give to the selling agent, right?
Yep.
Wow, I didn't know that. As long as it's...
This is all training from First Team. That's why all other companies, they suck.
I never heard of that. I heard the first part, but I've heard of also asking from the buyer, but not in combination. Let's say I was...
What do you mean asking from the buyer? What are you talking about?
You're saying to the buyer that, I charge 4% and have the lender put in 20,000 on top of your loan, right? But I know a lot of buyers still aren't they smart enough and say, we're not paying any. It's the seller pays for it because we're buying already.
Who said that?
No, what if somebody say, I have one person, who did I talk to? She goes, I'm not paying for that. No, I know. I told her it's coming already. I think I heard it from the brown bad guys.
Wait a minute. You're jumping too much, and you're shortening it. So you need to explain a little bit better for me. So before you make those comments, give me the whole thing. Say it again. Say the whole thing the way it's supposed to be.
Oh, I was telling them that what if the buyer were to pay for the commission to the agent? And one lady, my friend, I forgot who I was talking to, said, I'm not paying for a commission, because they know that the sellers are the ones paying.
No. What if the seller is not going to pay you? Then what? On the East Coast, these guys are making 10% commission. They're asking the seller to pay 6%, and they're asking the buyer to pay 4%. Why are we not getting 10%?
Okay, I don't know. I really don't know.
No, I'm asking you. There's a legal agreement.
Wow. The 10% I heard was for commercial. I didn't know. Wow.
No, I didn't know. There's no such thing as that. You're playing with the wrong. I don't know who's your. Okay, buyer representation agreement, right? Exclusive, right?
Yeah.
Any purchase, lease, or other acquisition or real estate manufacturer described as location, price range, blah, 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 right?
Mm-hmm.
Give me a second.
Yes, I know where you're going. It's the price there.
Oh, there you go. What is this? What does this say?
Amount, the percent of acquisition.
No, 3A. What does that word all say? Listen to it.
Buyer. It's not fixed by law. They're set by each broker individually.
But that's not what hold on. Stop. You see, I think you shortcut that. I hate when you do shortcut. So let's.
Sorry.
That's all right.
Compensation to broker.
That's what I'm trying to get at. Compensation to broker. Amount of compensation. Am I saying something wrong?
No, I feel.
Right? And what did I show you? What's the percentage?
4.
4 or 3, whatever you want.
Uh-huh.
Put it in there. Problem is, you don't write this up. You just put them in your car. Let me show you the house. When was the last time you had them sign this?
Long.
You never have them sign this. The big guns, the guys that are doing the top, Sean and all these guys, you want to buy a house from me as a buyer? Here's what our requirements are from my company. And he opens up a folder. This form is sitting in there. This is an exclusive buyer-broker agreement that you can be working with me. By the way, my brokerage requires all this set up. And you say, no, I'm not going to sign this. You know what? Have a nice day. You don't know how to call the bluff. These buyers are spoiled. They try to get away with murder. You don't let them get away with murder. You tell them, you basket case, you sign the sucker or else. When a buyer comes to you, you haven't questioned these guys, but I can guarantee you, they don't tell you that they don't know these things. You put this in front of them, and all of a sudden, oh, do we have to do this? Yeah. If you want to start a relationship with a broker and finding and buying a house, this is one of the things that you need to do.
Consultation fee.
Not only consultation fee, but the buyer representation agreement is exclusive. Can I go to another agent? Well, every property I show you, I need to be compensated for it. I'm not driving you around for free. That's not my job. Do you go into an ice cream shop and say, can I get a free ice cream? You walk into an ice cream shop as a buyer and say, give me a free ice cream so let me taste everything that you got before I buy stuff. Do you do that? You're asking me as an agent to drive you around and show you everything and anything. And then 2 days later, I hear that you just bought a house from another agent. Isn't that what you guys are normally doing? The problem is you guys are not setting the standards. You guys are running loose. You guys don't have a formula created. All these folders that you need to create. Every time when you meet a buyer, you just meet a buyer at a coffee station. Oh, yeah, come on, let me show you the house. Oh, blah, 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 blah. And you guys start doing this on the phone, right? Hey, you meet at a coffee station. You interested in buying a house? Yeah. You know what? Let's set up an appointment. When's the best time to meet with you? Tomorrow morning, when we set up a 9 o'clock appointment at my office, I'll do it an hour consultation. We'll go through some certain stuff, basics. And I want to make sure that you and I are the right fit. You notice the wording I said, you and I are the right fit?
Yes.
What if you don't like me? What if I don't like you? I don't want to do business with you. So fine, come on to the appointment. You come to my office with the appointment. All this paperwork is set up. It's pre-done, right?
Mm-hmm.
So by the way, you know how when you go to a doctor's office and they make you wait in the patient's room and then they take you into the waiting room, the room, and they make you wait there too?
Mm-hmm.
They're sweating your ass out. Excuse the word ass. They're making you sweat. They're making you nervous. When the doctor comes in, oh yeah, let me check. Yeah, I think you have a symptom. You have a fungus over that. Actually, you just have a mild cold. I'm not going to tell you have a mild cold. It gives you a whole long name, right? Scares the crap out of you. Why is he scaring you? Because he knows a different name of the same stuff that you and I know is a cold. Let me give you some antibiotics, and the name of the antibiotics is going to be called Glipizide ER at 2.5 milligrams. Nurse, can you send this to the CVS pharmacy?
By the way, that's for diabetes, right?
No, I know. But you see what I'm getting at, right?
I know. You're trying to sound smart, yeah.
So these guys do the same thing. But the guys who are making a lot of transactions, they get them into the office. They don't go to their house. They get them into the office and say, look, if you don't sign this, I'm not going to work with you. Let me ask you this. If you take a person in your car or you guys meet at a house, either one, in the old days, we used to take them to in our car and drive around and show them the house and all this thing. We printed up all these listing stuffs and we went from house to house. What if you had a car accident? Remember when you signed up with First Team, they asked you for your license and your car insurance?
Just in case.
No, it's not just in case. There was a reason for it.
They don't pay for it.
No. They also told you to put them on your insurance.
Yes.
Well, there's a reason for it. So it's covering them in a way in case that something happens, right? So nowadays we say, meet me at this house. We don't tell them to come in our house now, or in our car. We meet them at the location. Most of the times they follow me to the location, or they don't come in your car nowadays. I don't know how you take them.
Well, that's what I heard, but lately it's been, driving.
It's changing, but what I'm saying is, in most cases, we just meet at the house.
It's easier that way.
Right, but you don't. I never took buyers in my car ever, never. So go meet me there.
That's why I was taught. Yeah, I like that.
Safety-wise, that's one safety. Second, even nowadays, what if you walk into the house, the dog peed in the front of the house when you walk in, and you didn't look, and you open the door and says, go ahead, have a go on, go ahead. The lady with a stiletto walks in and slips, and she lands back on the back. She just falls backwards and boom, she cracks the back. Who's liable?
Now, since you brought them, it would be you. If it wasn't you who brought them, it would be
But
the
the property owner is also liable.
Something happened to one of my friend. It happened like that.
But who's liable?
Seller.
Both. You as an agent, seller's agent, and the seller. Three of you are already now liable. You let them enter the house. That's your liability. You didn't pre-warn them there might be something wrong with the house. You didn't walk in first. You let them walk in first. Yeah? You see the problem here now? The seller's agent, they didn't clean up the dog's pee and got the dog tied up and put in the cage. And the seller didn't do that because the seller's agent didn't advise the seller. Both of them are liable. Look at how the lawyer will look at it. The lawyer's going to have a field day with this. Right? Now, who else is involved? The seller's agent. Oh, both sides, right? So why do you think they indemnify themselves when they do this? When they make you sign, look at the contracts they make you sign. I don't know all the contracts with all the different brokers, but every brokerage, I don't know how it works, but I know First Team did that, and they still do it.
I'm sure, yeah.
We don't like what First Team does, but you know what? First Team does a lot of protection.
Yep.
For a reason.
Yeah.
So my whole thing is coming to this thing again, make I have signed this freaking thing. People say, what do I put for the price range? So you ask the buyer, how much has your lender told you that you can afford? I can afford 600,000. All right. Put 400,000 and put, where's my mouse?
I know, your mouse running away.
No, I know. I'm just messing with you. 900. I can't afford a 900. I didn't say you can. I'm just saying we just giving you a vary that if you do buy a house, you can buy a house within that range. And I would like to get compensated for within that range. Now, the other thing is the beginning date is today and the ending date is a year from now. Because you bastards, excuse the word bastards, you bastards may not make up your mind in the first 3 months of the year. It might take longer, right? If you guys are not hot buyers, it might take even longer than that. What happens after a year? Well, after a year, we can renegotiate this contract.
Yep.
Who knows? I don't know. You might kick the bucket. I don't know what's going to happen to you and me. But I'm giving it a year. So these are the things that you need to do. And then right at the bottom, leave this already there, 3% compensation. Just leave it in blank. Don't leave it blank, meaning I'm saying leave it there and that they don't notice it. The problem is then they see it, they say, what is this 3% for? Oh, that's for the amount of compensation that we will get from you as a buyer. Your lender will take care of it. Don't worry about that. Oh, they will? How? Well, we'll just add it to the loan amount. What's 3% of 400,000? 12 grand. What's 12 grand in 30 years? Now you see what I'm getting at? 12 grand amortized for 30 years?
It's very little.
It's not very little. It adds up. A $400,000 loan, by the time they finish paying it after 30 years,
600 probably.
it's 800.
Wow.
It's double the amount.
And my 12,000 is nothing then. It's 400 a year.
Yeah, so what's this?
So I'm trying to, I know you know what the seller's mind, I mean, the buyer's mind are like, what the heck?
They don't know it. You haven't tried telling them that.
I've done part and part of whatever you said, but nothing in one whole package.
The problem is you haven't been taught this whole thing, how to create a package for from beginning to end. You put a whole package together. These guys, I've seen and sat and listened to, like Vicky Morrison. I don't know if you've heard of her. She was in my stuff. Vicky Morrison, Chuck Ishimi, all these guys, they have these packages already made. And they sit in and they close the door, and I can still hear what they're saying. And they'll say, so by the way, Mr. Bai, this is what we need to do, and blah, blah. They become so friendly already. It makes it so simple. It just rolls off their tongue.
Yeah. Uh-huh.
But realistically, this rolling of the tongue is like just part of the deal.
Part of the deal. Mm.
But they make it so easy.
In fairness, of course, First Team has taught us those packages, right? But since I'm no longer First Team, I have to rearrange. And that's not an excuse.
No. There is a way you can do it. You haven't been doing it. That's where the problem is.
Somebody told me put it on the zip form.
Yeah, I put it on the zip form and
I have that.
Yeah.
It might not be as thorough as you want, but I have that.
Yeah, but with every company, it doesn't matter which company you go with. You can do the same thing.
Absolutely.
You just need to modify the company name. Big deal.
Correct.
And that's what people don't seem to get. So all you need to do is make the modification, and then you're done.
Yes.
Right?
Yes. At one point, I wasn't sure where to find the buyer broker agreement after I left First Team. Like, what the heck? I couldn't find it until, I found out after I asked. I'm like, oh, there it is. At one point I was trying to copy, but I was like, it's 5 pages. I know. But I didn't know that.
Who cares? The problem is when you put this in front of us, by the way, you guys need to sign this, read this, and then you tell them, go ahead and read it. Take some time. Read it.
Are you saying, I thought when we show something, we have to explain that this is what it means. We don't go, you just let them read and have them ask when they need to ask?
So you just cut me short, so listen to it carefully. I'm going to role play with this.
Gotcha.
In fact, I was multitasking with my Photoshop too, by the way.
Okay.
So you're the buyer and I'm the agent. By the way, so my company requires that we have a buyer-broker agreement signed before we go forward. And one of the things is these are the documents that I have for you. Now, I highly recommend, it's up to you, but please read through this. And you notice they won't read through it. You and I already know it. And by the way, I've highlighted where you need to sign. This is where you initial, buyer's initial at the bottom. You just highlight all these circles, right? Boom, 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 and it just goes through it. Now, some smart aleck will, what is this 3%?
Yep, they're very, yep.
Okay, so this is a commission in some cases, the seller may not always compensate us also, but at the same time, depending on how the compensation goes, we'd like you to compensate us as well. And this is our compensation by the company requirement, not what I want. I'm always blaming the company. And they say, well, where's the company? I want to talk to the company. I want to discuss it. I want to make it cheaper. And I want to know, I don't believe in this. You can't go and talk to the company because the company's going to come and talk to you because I'm blaming you on the company. But if I sit here and say, well, I require 3%, bullshit. I'm not going to give you 3%.
Yeah.
That's how you get into an argument.
Gotcha.
But you don't want to get in an argument, blame it on the company. My company requires that we all have a buyer-broker agreement before we go forward. I cannot go forward because of liability issues. What liability issues? So as you throw the word liability issues, I think he's right, There might be some other issues. Might as well, honey, just sign the freaking thing. He signed it.
So you're not going to tell them?
Tell them what?
The liability issue, said?
You don't have to. What liability? What if you fall? There's your liability issue. What if you fall? I don't want to be responsible. But if I had a buyer-broker agreement signed, that way then I am then responsible. Yeah, you can fall. Fall as much as you want. I'm going to just give it to the insurance people. Let them worry about it when you fell.
Okay. Side note, does it really show where the liability issues?
There's no, it doesn't show it.
Okay. So what if there's some, like you said, some mark out, where is it? Where is it?
It doesn't, you don't say anything. You say, this is the requirement, here, read it. Have fun. If you read it, the other thing is, you see the compensation, he just keeps on talking about compensation part, timing of compensation, and look at it, it just keeps on going. But also internet advertising, internet blogging, social media brokerage, authorization, obligation, and then scope and broker duty. This is where some of the issues come up. Buyer's obligation. There's your stuff. So if you read through this, you have to read through this and you'll understand it. There's certain parts of this, discovery of legal and practical technical implications of discovered and disclosed facts of investigation information. What the hell are they talking about? What the hell you care? It's your problem. You figure it out. I don't know these things. I'm just giving you what my company requires me to do, right? Here you go. Buyer agrees to indemnify, defend, and hold broker harmless from all claims, dispute, litigation, judgments, costs, and attorney fees arising from any incorrect information supplied by the buyer. There's your liability part of it. You don't have to explain it. You just show it to them. Oh, okay. But you don't have to talk to them. You see, I'm giving you, they might have fallen and all this. I'm not talking about that. This is other liability issue.
Yeah, a different liabilities. Yeah.
Right?
More of the disclosure. Yeah.
There's a lot of variables out there that you don't know about. So there's a lot of things. So this, you just throw this into their hands. All understanding between the parties and incorporated agreement, blah, 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 blah. It goes through this whole thing. This is mediation. You just safeguarding yourself.
So maybe next Friday, if it's okay, Arvind, we can probably talk about, the packages and what to put in for
Package is something.
And
do you have a listing package?
I have a checklist, listing package.
You have a listing package of a kind. You have your resume. You have your maybe everything that other clients talk about you, how good you were and everything else. How many properties you've sold, blah, blah, blah type of thing. It's like some kind of a summary, right?
Not that thorough. I have here and there.
Oh, but that's okay. But that's all right. I'm just giving you an idea. You also have something to do with your company. How good your company is, what it's done, and blah, 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 blah. How many listings it's got. First Team had the same thing. It's the same package what First Team had. You have it in every other company. You just need to follow the guidelines from First Team. So listing agreement, your listing agreement, your resume, your company resume, and then your CMA, right? And then your seller agreement, which is part of the listing agreement already. So same thing happens here. This is it. Disclosure regarding real estate agency relationship, that's one page. Then there's a buyer representation agreement exclusive. I'm going to be exclusive to you, and I won't badmouth you. And then buyer's inspection advisory, because they need to be aware of what needs to be done. Let them take it with them. So at this point, they will either take it home and start reading over and everything else. 3%, you got to pay 3%? Yeah, why? What's wrong with it?
I'm not paying any 3%.
Then what do you want to do? I don't want to work with you. You already signed a contract. You already signed a contract. I'm not just letting you go. You can tear this up, right? You and I know that. So I'm waiting for the bluff part of it. Well, if you explained it right up front, then they won't go home and complain about it. We tell them, 3% is a basic compensation what I require. What if you just put 2%? Even 2%, now you're getting 6 plus
2.
is 8%, right? If you double ending it,
Still ahead. Yeah, if you double end.
right? But if you're not double ending it, try this one out. If I put 2% here, the seller is giving me 3%, I'm getting 5%.
I've tried that too on the part of the listing, or do you ask it separately, or do you ask it when you do an offer?
What do you mean you ask for it?
How do you ask the seller? How do you ask the seller for 3% then?
You're not asking the
Oh,
seller.
yeah.
Wait a minute.
Wait.
What?
Oh, yeah, gotcha. Sorry.
What do you got?
So I think you meant a separate transaction when you're just working with the buyer, right?
No, I think you already lost it.
When you said it's 2% and then you can ask 3% from the seller,
I didn't say ask. I said you're going to get.
are you going to get? Okay.
Your wording, you're missing the wordings.
Okay.
How are you going to get it?
How are you going to get it?
You're taking a buyer, showing the buyer property. True?
Yeah. Wait, hold on. Are you talking about a separate transaction or in the same property?
I don't know how you're getting lost. That's what I'm getting missed out here.
Because you're talking about being the listing agent and if you can double end.
No. I'm not talking about that now. I was talking about the buyer's side only.
Okay, that's what
you're just representing a buyer.
Gotcha.
You're representing nothing else, right? So
Gotcha.
you're showing a buyer a house. So here's a house that you're showing to the buyer. Here's the property.
Okay.
How much is the commission here?
2.5. I can't see.
2.5.
Yeah, okay.
So 2.5, and how much are you getting from the buyer?
The last time we said was 2.
Wait, hold on. Let's clarify. Who's giving you this money?
Buyer technically, but it's
No. All right, besides that, technically. All right. But who's giving you the money according to the buyer?
seller.
Okay. Seller's giving you 2.5, right?
Gotcha.
And how much is the buyer giving you?
2%. That's that. 2%.
So what's your total number?
4.5.
So realistically, how much is the seller's agent getting, listing agent getting on this property?
I would say probably 2.5 if that's how it looks like.
That's fine. But you are getting 4.5.
Yeah.
Seller's agent get 2.5.
Yeah.
How do you like to get another 0.5% extra from the seller's agent? Remember, you have a form that says you can negotiate extra. If I gave you a full price offer, then I expect you to give me 3%. Which
the sellers to sign, right?
No, stop doing that. You can now send that form to the seller's agent. Say, look, Mr. Seller, my company requires, because I'm giving you a full price offer, my company requires a 3% full commission. You're only giving 2.5. You better add the 0.5% extra. They're going to get 2%. Now you're going to get 3%.
Wow. It's all about posturing, huh?
This is all negotiations.
Yeah, negotiation skill. I'm learning. I've tried that too.
Yeah, but the problem is trying is one stuff. The second part is how you negotiate it. And if the seller doesn't see that form, or the seller's agent doesn't see the form and misses it in escrow, they're going to get punished. But if they see the form, they can say, I don't have to give you this. And you can say, do you want me to tell your seller about it, that you don't give me the extra commission? How do you want to do this? It's a bluff game, and they will the person in the fence.
So if I heard you right, I'm just going to include that in my offer and not to say anything. Include that extra commission.
Yeah, but you could also get rejected because you didn't do the offer right. You're sending the email to the agent.
So what's the right thing to do?
Do a live presentation. Remember, First Team taught you to do live presentations.
But we have to be honest, realistically, not everyone. If I'm the listing agent, I don't want live presentation. If I'm the listing agent, I don't want you to offer my seller straight.
Why not?
Just.
Oh, just. What is the legal thing about that?
You cannot say no.
But do you know why?
The seller has the right. You're just.
Okay. No. Seller has nothing to do. Watch this.
Okay.
This is why you're going to run. And this is also taught in, Tom Wagner taught this in a way. Yeah, hold on a sec. Hey, dude, what are you cooking? Yeah, what? Huh? Shit.
Nothing. Not spicy anymore.
No, it's an Indian food. That's, oh man, open the window. Turn the fan on, dude. All right. So going back.
Tom Wagner says that too. Okay.
All right. So here's my question to you. You're the listing agent. I'm the buyer's agent, right? I need to present my offer to your sellers. When can we set up an appointment, please? You're going to say no.
No, you can just send it to me. You can just email it to me.
I would love to do that, but you should know better, because I cannot give you my offer and release my buyer's rights to you.
But the seller said I represent. You go through me, and I give it to her.
Your seller represents you, but if I give you my buyer's offer, my buyers are asking me to represent them. Are you going to represent my buyers when you present the offer to your sellers?
I can show it. I can.
No. Hold on a sec. Technically, think carefully what I'm saying. This is where everybody misses the point.
Okay.
If I give you my offer and I sit at home, what is it happening to my offer?
Most likely.
I gave you my offer, my buyer's offer to you. What is it happening to that offer? It becomes a dual agency representation by you.
Okay.
You don't get it. You're doubting it.
No, I've never heard of it. So that's why I'm trying to understand it. It becomes a dual agency.
It is. It's becoming a dual agency. I'm relinquishing the rights of my buyers to you. Who's representing my buyers? Try answering the question. Who's representing the buyers?
You.
I'm representing the buyers. Okay, if I give you the paperwork in your hands, who's representing the buyers now to your sellers?
Me? It looks like me.
It looks like you, which is true. You're taking the paperwork and you're taking it to the sellers, right? Okay, so if you're doing that, then where do I stand? Why am I making an offer? Why, as an idiot, am I filling out all those forms that I've been letting you do? Why don't I just give you my buyer?
They're your buyers.
They're my buyers, and then why are you taking my paperwork and giving it to your sellers? Is your son whistling or what?
Yeah.
Oh, man. That's why it hurts. See, now you know why I get irritated. Legally, Tom Wagner from First Team came about and talked about this. This is what I picked up. When Chuck used to have meetings and he would come up with all this, and then Chuck would say, "Hey, Arvind, you remember this?" I said, "Yeah." And they would tell me, he says, "Tell everybody why." He says, "Why do you do a live presentation and all these people don't do live presentations?" So I would tell them, the reason you guys are doing live, I'm doing a live presentation, you guys are not, and you're losing out, is because you're relinquishing your rights, your buyer's rights, to the seller's agent. And the seller, as an agent, should know this better. They cannot do that. It's not legal. Look at your contract. Your contract states that I need to represent my buyers, not you. somewhere along the line between 2005 and now, people have become lazy and they use this scenario as an excuse. Just email me and I'll present it. You don't present it. You refuse me, you tell me, you know what, then I don't want to take your offer. Go ahead. Says, I'm not going to show your offer, right? No problem. I'm going to call your broker and I'm going to call your sellers. Or I'm going to knock on your seller's door and it says, knock, knock. Yes, how can I help you? Your seller's, your agent has just told me that he doesn't want to present my offer. I have an offer, valid offer from a buyer. Are you guys interested in selling your home? I'm going to bust your chops out. Now you see what I'm getting at? Legally, these are not taught. These things have been gone aside. Brokers are not teaching this. In fact, I caught a broker. Somebody had an argument about this and we started going into it. And I said, when you do an inspection as an agent, you do not say, well, nothing noted. Do you say like that in your AVID? Why not? What did first team teach you? I can't hear you.
You have to note something at least. You have to write something.
Oh, so this
make them know that you really were there, probably.
Right. So what's this? This person I was arguing with was an agent, but I had somebody sitting next to me who was a broker of that office. So this person kept on saying, well, if I don't find anything broken or something wrong with the house, for that room, I'm going to say nothing noted. She kept on insisting that. I said, you can't say that. You have to say something. You went in the room, the judge is going to ask you what you observed in the room. Was the room slanted? Was the room square? Was the room rectangle? What? What was in the room? Was the room have shaggy carpet? Make a note. You have to state something. So the manager and the owner of the corporate, never mind, we'll take this aside, we'll talk about it later. Well, she's trying to brush me off because she couldn't answer that question. She was wrong also. I was giving something that was very legal, and I'm very anal about this. So when it comes to legality issues, I come down hard. You don't mess with that. So she was trying to push it aside. Oh, we'll discuss it at another time. What she was trying to tell me is, I was already figuring it out. I said, that means she's going to say, just write nothing noted, don't worry about it. He doesn't know what he's talking about. That's his opinion. That's what she was going to say to them. Because she, instead of saying, agree with me and said, you know what, he's right, you need to make a note of something in the room. She didn't do that in her. And she was the office manager or the office broker. Yeah? Now you see what I was getting at. So this whole game plan that I'm trying to tell you, you cannot and you shouldn't. If I was a listing agent and when people came and made an offer to me, in the old days also, I said, hey, by the way, I need you to come and present this offer live to my sellers.
That's what you mentioned a while ago. I'm like, what live? You're talking about live? That's what you mentioned a while ago.
I make them sweat it out. A lot of these people don't know what to say, how to do it. They're afraid.
Then the new ones, yeah, but the old timers love that.
Old timers love it. It's, really? Can I do that? Of course, come on down.
You know who's the first one who offered a live presentation?
Who?
Sam Shinarian.
Who?
An old timer. Sam Shinarian. His camps almost like, I don't know if it's the right camp or something. Sam Shinarian of Irvine.
I don't know.
Because he was representing Vicky on my listing. Like, said, no, you don't have to. I thought that's what I'm supposed to answer. Good thing he didn't insist, though. He said, I don't want to offer, but he didn't tell me all these legalities.
Yeah, but if your broker does know better, then if you ask your broker, the broker should say and let you know you're actually giving away your buyer's rights when you're giving the offer to another person by email or by any other. In the old days, we used to fax things out, right? So even faxing was not a no-no. You'd never fax it. You would act, huh?
That's what I was trying to figure out before, usually when I would make an offer, I'm like, why am I giving them all the information? But I thought that was the default. I didn't find it better.
So no, it's not a default. So let me ask you this question then. This is a stupid question. My buyers, I have a buyer sitting right next to me, argument's sake, right? You haven't seen the buyer. You don't know what a buyer looks like. You don't know what the buyer does.
Yes.
Okay? So now, you as a listing agent telling me what? Send me the email. Send me the offer, right?
Yeah.
How are you going to talk about my buyers to your sellers? What facts are you going to give to your sellers?
Presented only.
Say what?
Whatever is shown, as far as I know, it's just whatever the document tells.
So what does the document state?
The offer, nothing else, nothing more.
So how is the seller going to make a decision on that based on that?
Oh.
Ah.
No, wait. When I make an offer for my buyer, I usually ask them to write something about them, to talk about them.
So even if I wrote it, what about it? What did I write? You think I'm Tolstoy or Shakespeare that I can write something good? But I can talk about my buyers. I've got a beautiful set of buyers here sitting right next to me, husband and wife, and both are males.
Okay.
It sounds like a joke, but just see what I just did. Both are male. These are husband and wife. These are lesbians or whatever you call those guys.
Gays.
LBG gays, right? How would you know in a piece of paper who these people are? How are you as a listing agent going to explain my buyers? That's the argument I'm trying to help you understand. The argument here is, how are you going to present my buyer's case to your sellers? How? So you're going to say, all right, for argument's sake, you're going to be a real jerk about it and say, you know what? So tell me everything about your buyers.
All right, tell me everything about your buyers then.
You got 2 hours? You don't have 2 hours.
You can compress them in 5 minutes.
Yeah, I can't impress them in 5 minutes. I'm going to do a live presentation. And when I do a live presentation, I'm going to give you all the details about it. And then the sellers can ask me all the questions they want about my buyers. Because you don't know what questions they're going to have. So what if the husband and wife say, you know what, we want to sell it to a brand new couple. We don't like gays. Then what?
Then no. I know. I don't know.
But you as a listing agent have to tell your sellers you can't discriminate. Right?
Yes.
But then I hear it as a third party also. And if you sell it to your sellers, you know what, forget this LGB guys, man. Don't worry about it. How do I know if that wasn't the case? What if my buyers felt that's what was discriminated and you said no because of that? If I was there and your sellers didn't say anything, but they just felt, you know what, we don't think your offer is good enough. But why isn't it good enough? Well, I think we don't like the criteria that you got 21 days waiting periods for your loan to be funded. We want it funded in 15 days. Now see where this thing is going. Problem is, sellers are trying to control and they are getting lazy and they think, you know what, boom, 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 just send me an offer and Nah, it doesn't work that way. your buyer's rights are not being fulfilled.
Mm-hmm. So you're telling me what based on what you've been doing this, that your ratio of success is higher than because
High,
oh,
60 to 70%.
wow, live because of live presentation.
Actually, it was 80%. It was 80% acceptance. Buyer's acceptance was 80%. Because I sat down with the listing agent and the buyer's agent, I presented it to them very nicely. And all of a sudden, when I met with the seller's agent outside, I said, you know what? I didn't know you're so nice. You know, everything was so nicely presented. And that was beautiful of you. How can you show on an email that it's beautiful? How? You can't do this. It's just impossible. If you go for a job interview, you're the hiring person and you say, hey, just send me an email. All right, here's the email. You read the stuff. I don't like you anymore. I'm not hiring you. I'm not hiring somebody else. You didn't even talk to me. You didn't even ask me questions. How are you going to hire me? How am I going to get hired? Now you see the difficulty? Taking the buyer, me, and then coming to you. You saying, well, just email me the stuff. How do I get these people hired? See the difficulty? The same analogy applies with an offer. Do not get rejected because these people have now given you the kick in the butt and says, send me an email. I'm not sending you an email. That's not how I get hired. I'm sorry. My buyers vetted me out with a various other amount of agents to represent them, and you're telling me I just need to send it in by email? What are you, smoking or something? Right?
You tell that to the listing agents who don't know. They usually...
I insult them straight up. I'll tell them, say it straight up. You know what? When you say just email me, so you know what? I'd like to email you, but I think you should know better. Because I cannot do that, and I cannot relinquish my buyer's rights to you. I have to represent my buyers. Otherwise, it becomes a dual agency. If I give you the offer, now I'm giving you the agency and everything to you to go to your sellers. You're representing my buyers. You can't do that. I'm sorry. This is exactly the tone and the exact wording I use. These guys freaked out.
So they relent eventually.
They have to.
Yeah,
if you keep on arguing with me and you keep telling me, just email me, just email me. So I'm sorry, I can't email you. I have an offer. If you don't want me to come and make an offer, I'll go directly to your sellers, to the house. And I'll wait for you there for them to call you and tell them to bring you in. And they say, well, you're just trying to be a jerk. I'm not trying to be a jerk. I'm trying to be respectful for my buyers and their rights. I'm not doing anything. I'm not being difficult. I'm just, is there your dog? So I'm trying to be straightforward for my buyers. And that's my game plan. So what happened?
okay.
So realistically, I'm trying to protect my buyers. I can't protect my buyers by giving you the offer. It doesn't work that way. If people say, well, I've never heard of this before, then you tell them straight up, then talk to your broker. I just tell them, talk to your broker, and that I don't want to talk to my broker. Why? Because I'm going to look stupid, right? But they'll talk to another agent. And the other agent, and between the two of them, they will say, well, he's just trying to be a jerk, or you know what, I wouldn't have accepted it, but yeah, it's okay, man, just who cares? You know, he's just trying to be a smarty pants or whatever. Why do you think First Team brought more buyers? Remember the wording they used? We bring more buyers to you. Why?
The wording?
Yeah, because of this issue. They made the buyer's agent do live presentations. They still do it.
I didn't hear that, the live present. Oh, I don't know, maybe, but.
And look at, if you go to First Team and it says, we bring more buyers to you. I think it may still be there unless they've changed that. But if you look at the newspaper ads and everything else.
Every Sunday. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, they find the hottest, this is they're talking about, this is a seller. But they always have, it says, we have more buyers than any other company out there. I know it's part of the marketing.
Yeah, we've seen that.
Yeah, so do you also remember when Christie's would come in and help you on the listing presentation?
Yeah, but I've never had that chance yet. Christie's too high. Never had.
That's not my question to you. My question to you, do you remember or do you know that Christie's, anything above $1 million, Christie's would come and help you negotiate it. And Christie's wouldn't even say percentage and all those things. They come with a nice, beautiful box and everything.
Yeah.
Come in and present, sit down,
Yes.
National, blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
They do all the talking, right? Guess what? If they do a $2 million listing and they come in and help you get the listing, they get 25% of your commission. You don't have to pay them until you close escrow. But they got you a $2 million damn listing. That is why, was it Randolph?
Yeah, what about?
Randolph in Keller Williams?
Yeah.
Yeah. He was asking, he says, what should I do? I said, go back to First Team.
Why? He had a 2 million?
No, it's not $2 million. He was asking me, so what should I do? I'm thinking of, should I go back to First Team or what should I do? So why the hell do you leave First Team in the first place? I didn't like the broker. It's not a broker. You didn't like the manager. That's just like Elizabeth. Nobody liked Elizabeth. But that's not the issue. You're an independent broker, so you work on your own. You don't need these guys. I didn't like my manager either. He never talked to me. He never helped me. In all the years, he never helped me. But I always found other people around me to help me. Not one. So the thing is, you need to figure out where you stand. So I'm just trying. I know it's there. Here's the career thing also. This is new. I don't know who this person is. I haven't seen her.
Yeah, that's probably new. I only know Lynn Tachinelli and somebody else.
Yeah, there's some nice people, whatever. So, but you see what I'm getting at. The whole game plan here is present things live, to not email or fax it.
So question, so if I'm a listing agent, you want also me to encourage them, hey, you need to present live. Or
Yeah.
what if they send me email, what should I say?
You need to come and present it live. Here's what I did. People email me, people fax me, and they say, all right, yeah, I understand. By the way, this Friday, we're sitting down with the sellers, and I recommend that you come and do a live presentation at 6 o'clock in the evening at their house. Set up an appointment with me.
For an argument's sake, let's say it's too far and they're too busy. Can we do online? Is that good enough?
Yeah, you can do online. It's still live,
Okay.
right?
Yes.
You can Zoom that.
Yeah. That's what I meant. Okay.
But
So
how are
what's
you
this like?
going? How are you going to present your offer?
Well, what's another thing?
Your seller's agent is going to have to go by page and show the offer. See, this is where you're going to miss the thing, and then that's what I'm trying to help you understand.
Gotcha.
When you go for a listing presentation, you take a folder and all nice little packaging and everything, and the CMA and all that, right? Okay. So I did the same thing when I did the buyer's presentation also. I made 3 copies, made a nice folders and everything, and then took it in. I gave Mr. Seller, here's one for you. Mr. Seller's agent, here's one for you, and here's one mine. So that's how I see it. I won't take up too much of your time, Mr. Seller. My buyers, they really love your home. See how I'm doing it? They really love your home. You've met them, and the wife of my buyer, she really loves your home. She wants to make a family in your home. And you know what? They both work for Google, and the wife works from home, and the husband works at the office. He goes back and forth to Sacramento. But the wife feels very secure in your home because, you know, a nice, safe neighborhood. Fantastic. So here's the offer, page 2. Blah, 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 blah. Any questions you have? I'm done in less than 5 minutes, right? What do you have to explain? You already got the terms. You already got the condition of the property, of the price. Your price was, your first thing is a price. They put in a deposit, and they're going to get the whole thing done within, escrow will be 30 days. They're giving you 3 days to live in the house, to move after the escrow closes. And by the way, where are you people moving, by the way? Or they haven't decided that. And then the agent tries to pipe in. Shut the hell up, agent. I'm talking to the seller. I'm making conversation. So you guys moving to Arizona? Oh, wow, that's a nice area. So good. Where about in Arizona? Just turn the whole thing around. I don't want them talking about me and the buyers anymore. Talk to them about that stuff. Oh, by the way, the buyer's wife had a request. Are you going to be selling your couch and your credenza and whatever? Would you be interested in selling that? Right? What did I do? You're telling them and making it very personable.
Yeah.
Guess what?
Poor. Didn't like.
So guess what? So would you like a few minutes to discuss it with your seller, with your agent, and I'll step outside if that's okay with you? Oh no, you know what? You don't have to. We've decided we'd like to go with your buyers. Boom, sign. Wow. Yeah, you can sign my copy. I'll make all the copies and I'll send it back to your agent. We'll get everything negotiated. And when would you like to open up escrow? Monday is that a good day for you? Yeah, good. I have Hallmark Escrow, and we're going to use which title company you want to use? Oh, Boondocks Title Company. Awesome, no problem. Have a nice day. Right? I've already got this prepared. I've already got everything set up. I've got other people. Oh, I've got an offer. I've got an offer. Yeah, hell with the offer when I already won. I'm done. The game of this thing is one thing. I need to win. How am I going to win? Yeah? That's your answer. This is where you guys need to step out. I've been teaching you guys all this goofball stuff right now. Up to now is all the basics and how to find and all that. The negotiation skills is much more important. That's where you guys really need to get sharpened at. You don't do this. The other stuff is just BS.
I agree.
Every neighbor, everyone back and forth you see, every person you see in the car, those are potential clients. You're just not getting to them. You need to get to, and that's why I wish freaking Gary would have been on this call today. You need to send him and says, Gary, you didn't get on this call and you missed out big. You guys all missed out big. But at the same time, I need you guys next week also to do is how Gary sends out the Cloud CMA landing page. We're going to work on that.
Oh, sounds good.
That's it. How many hours we got?
3.
Yikes.
Good. Yeah.
So, all right.
Appreciate that. Tons of nuggets. Some
So-
stuff I've never heard. So
Oh, this is all logistics that people should have known from day one. Nobody teaches us. That's where the problem is.
yeah.
All right. Hopefully this
Thank-
loads up.
I know it's
good.
gonna be a long one. So
That's fine. I don't care.
thanks.
That's good.
I'll wait for it. Thanks, Arvin, and have
All
a
right.
good night.
Sure. Take care. Bye.
Bye-bye.